Hail, hail, and welcome to the Homeboys. This is your resident Friday night in front of the computer or whatever you're doing with your cans, listening to us ramble shite. I'm Jason, your host for the night, and joined in the line, we've got a depleted squad once again. Lack of numbers, but no lack of content. We're joined in the line by, over to Cambers Lang, Mr. Scott McCorry. How you doing, son?
The place of dreams. Fuck me, Jason. Are you reading off a script? That was brilliant, man. Absolutely. Oh, man. I've got to sack that clown, man. Fucking hell. And there's me swearing in the first 5 minutes, man. Ah.
Your mouth will get off a nut.
Oh,
things, mate, all right? You good?
But I'm good, mate. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Aye, all good. All set up for a championship day tomorrow, fingers crossed. So it's all good. And then over the Irish Sea to the Deer Green place, Mr. Marty Flynn. How you doing, son?
How's it going?
How's it going there, boy?
How's it going there?
Fly the flag. How you keeping fly the flag?
Loving life. Just back from Carnlough, Brendan Rogers country. I had a couple of days down there out of the road, fucking getting my head showered, taking the child horse riding, fucking about on the beach, drinking lots of stout and Cheyennes and Paddy Diamonds. So I have absolutely no complaints.
Good weather.
I'm saying one day it was a wee bit showery, but sure, that's fucking sound. Most of the time I was sitting outside the caravan I bought. Hugh McIlvanney's unboxing book. So I just sat. The wee man was fucking about with his mates, and I just sat outside the caravan, beating a tea into me, reading about the fucking greatest boxing matches of yesteryear by the greatest wordsmith that the game ever produced.
Superb. Brilliant. Sitting in the Antrim Glens, can't get much better than that.
No, absolutely beautiful. Sun-kissed, so, yep, lovely couple of days away.
Brilliant. Great to hear. So let's crack into it. So, first on the agenda, another victorious occasion in Hampden Park for Mr. Brendan Rodgers and his famous Celtic team. What a performance, guys. What do you think of that?
Some going in it. It really is some going. You're, who was I listening to? It seems every week I'm fucking celebrating some other podcast on here, but there was one, and they were basically saying, Brendan, I think it was Axom again, and they were saying when Brendan Rodgers joined Celtic, he was told that Hampden was a bit of a curse, but he went in the dressing room and told the players it can't be a bit of a curse because all we're going to do is win trophies, so it can't be a curse now. You're going to have to go on it, and by God, he said. I mean, it's wild. In terms of the game, it's funny how slow we started, but how comfortable we were in the whole game. I mean, Hampden was stunning. Wee bit of sun. It's mad at it how the sun changes everything in terms of football. Huh?
Your full perspective.
It's like it just makes everything. You're walking by people are all smiling, they've all got sunglasses on, you're like, fucking hell, man. It's a mad scenario, and then we're going up to Hampden. The place is covered in green and white. St Johnstone, again, I don't hold any hate for any team out with them all, to be honest. Even teams I dislike, I just don't hate. But St Johnstone have always befuddled me because we have lived through, we're living through one of Celtic's best periods, but we've also lived through one of St Johnstone's best ever periods as a football club.
Yep.
And they've never grown. They've just stayed the same.
It's just impossible.
Yeah. No, I know that. Do you know what I mean? And it's and we've seen how they've tried, and we've seen it might lead to a further discussion with regards East Kilbride and Caledonian Braves. It was something we were talking about recently. Marty put up a link with the Lowland League, and East Kilbride have won it. Celtic have came second. I think Caledonian Braves came third. But it basically tells you the limitations of the populace of Scotland, because you've got these two gargantuan clubs, and then you've got these huge secondary clubs in terms of Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, Dundee United. Even, I heard them say Dunfermline, respectively. There isn't really a place for a club to come out of nowhere and grab the attention and grab people's, unless they were like extremely political, maybe. Do you know what I mean? See if somebody like come out and they were like the most right-wing team in the world, you might shook up just a whole load of balloons. Do you know what I mean? But so I'm looking over at St Johnstone fans, and God bless them, the ones that turned up, and well done them. And there's a big section, and they've got the fucking, one of the podcasts have got a big banner on a whole load of seats, and I'm sitting going, it's, you know what I mean? It's kind of madness.
We get the train, Scott, and we get off Mount Florida. And to be honest, when we were walking up the stairs, it was maybe about 70-30 Celtic supporters against St Johnstone supporters. And I'm like, maybe they've got a good crowd there on the day. And there was a few pottering about. And then we went into the snooker club, which when we play Aberdeen, it's always mobbed with them. And we walked in the snooker club and it was empty. They just sell it. And normally there'd be a right contingent if we're playing Hearts or anybody. Apart from them, you obviously wouldn't go there. But there was no St Johnstone supporters in it. And then you get into the game, you're just like, what a fucking disgrace your support for a semi-final. You know?
Yeah, it really is. It's. But what can you, like as we say, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? If they're fucking. Well, like I say, my point was, I think it was around 2000, Jason, and you can kind of correct me here, but they played Rosenborg, and then they played Monaco, and like Alan Main had a fucking wonder game to the point that by all accounts teams were talking about, oh look, by the way, this guy's a decent keeper. You're like, Alan Main, fuck's sake. And then if you're no growing after that, if you're never ever going to get any bigger for that, then, I mean, they've won the 2 cups recently, probably hindered by the fact it happened during COVID. But I don't know, man. I don't really know, man. It's just Scottish football, isn't he? I mean, look at Livingston, for example. Me and Marty were talking about Livingston before.
That's what I was thinking about. They're the same as Johnstone. They
just had a whole load of people who went to see them, and these same people are still going to see them, and nobody else is gone. Do you know what I mean? And it's. But
I used to work for Motorola, and they sponsored them, and they gave out free tickets willy-nilly to everybody. And see, to be fair, there's a load of, in Livingston, you've got Hibs, Hearts, Celtic and Rangers supporters. It's always a big overspill for Glasgow and Edinburgh. And a load of them would take their kids. But see, at the end of the day, they and their kids support at Celtic or support at Rangers or support at Hibs or Hearts. But they would just go for convenience. And when push comes to shove, there's only a few of them have morphed into Livingston supporters. And it'll never ever get any bigger. You know, they defy the odds all the time. But
yeah, well, let's make it a bigger conversation before we fling ourselves back into fucking. Marty, you there? Aye.
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Dutiful, aye. Before we fling ourselves back in, Marty had a situation in over in the north where somebody tried to tie themselves into Belfast Celtic and try to kind of fling themselves into that. You had Donegal Celtic who kind of tried to do that. You had the Celtic Nation. Remember all these teams all try to kind of bounce off of us. But Man City, right? Man City's a big club, but it's not a fucking giant of a team, right? It's not, and the fact that they still, in terms of that big giant stadium, that stadium's no fucking rocking and rolling every fucking game like Everton would be. And I'm not just saying that because of you, Jason, but I'm just saying there is only a certain amount of people out there. Do you know what I mean? And I
But
think
we've had that yarn for years and years about smaller teams in Scotland that you kind of need them to fold, and you need people to kind of coalesce around a bigger team sort of thing, or say an area like East Kilbride that has massive population, and people be saying, well, that should be serviced by a football team, but fuck, it's just not an exact science at all. Like, and especially
no,
nowadays too, with you have so much, the world is so small, and kids can pick up teams from wherever they fucking like, basically around the world, and can follow them instead. So it's very, very tough for local teams to get there. Like, from running teams, how hard it is to run it. I don't know how anybody runs a football team.
Marty,
Like, it's a fucking
it was
thankless.
it was something I noticed years and years ago, right? So we're all of an age that, see, imagine Celtic went tits up in the 80s. For us to go and watch football, we'd have to go and watch football. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd have to actually go, change your... Celtic went tits up in fucking 88, right? 100 year down the line, we went tits up. Something happened. The fucking meteor hit us. Jason, you might think, fuck, I can't go to anywhere else. But Motherwell's just along the road. And you've got Wishaw Juniors, right? For me, Clyde were still there at that point. Glencairn, you get, when they get Camden Rangers, I mean, Blatter Vicks, maybe, do you know what I mean? Or Hamilton Ackies or something. But you need to get off your arse. If you wanted to support a team, you'd need to go and do it. But it's easy. I mean, Wayne's are now turning around to you going, who do you support? I support fucking Borussia Dortmund. I support Real Madrid. And you're like, and they watch every game. They watch. They can see every game is available for them to watch. So, legitimately, they're watching Real Madrid as much as a Celtic fan in Ireland who doesn't travel.
And see a team like St Johnstone. St Johnstone have done everything right.
Yeah.
They've ran themselves really well. They've got a decent wee fucking Meccano set stadium that suits their needs. Do you know what I mean? And they have delivered on the pitch over the last 10 years. They've been outstanding for their level. Do you know what I mean? They've done really well. They've always been a kind of a yo-yo club, got up and down the league, but like, you can't fault what they've achieved over the last decade, and it just counts for fuck all. Do you know what I mean? And they're still having to give us 3 stands to make any money. It's fucking mad, like.
Yeah,
it is.
It really is mad the way World of Football is. We were having a talk to let the people into the hidden workings of the Homeboys, but we were having a chat just basically how the world is just so greedy now. Everybody's just so greedy that everybody wants everything. Right, and it's ironic coming from Celtic fans talking about Scottish football, but we kind of try to soak up the whole of Scottish football and moan about UEFA, and all the big teams in UEFA want all it and they don't want to give us nothing. And there doesn't seem to be a kind of, if we all do well, we'll all get better kind of attitude.
See the I suppose the obvious place to go with that talk then is ticket prices. Now I'm not talking about our season ticket prices, but if you think of a club like St Johnstone or Dundee or whatever, any of those smaller Scottish teams, like, their fucking ticket prices are still fairly high, and their attitude is, well, we can't fill the ground, so we'll have to pay high prices because, at one stage we were told we had to have a 10,000 seater stadium to be in the league. We had to build it. Therefore, it costs money for service this fucking building. We're not allowed really to have. Well, it's kind of frowned upon now to have a plastic pitch, so you have shut down that avenue of finance for us. Where we could be renting the pitch out every night if it was plastic, or bringing in extra money, bringing extra people in through the doors who might become a fan, or their kids might become fans. So it's you can sort of fucking see where you're in the quagmire of.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And Jason made the point there about Motorola giving out free tickets. You know what I mean? And that's great. But it's kind of ferric, because if Motorola then goes on to fucking sponsor some other fucking team, you're left holding the baby, basically,
But no. See, the thing was, I think, Marty, you would know this much better than me. If you give away tickets for nothing, then
It devalues it.
You basically value them at nothing. So
100%.
so that means that they tickets are, you might have it in your pocket and you go, I got it for none. I don't need to go. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Whereas, I mean, that was always the thing about the English Premiership, which I understood, didn't agree with, but I understood was keep the ticket prices high. You're making it a premium. You're making it a fucking an event.
Yep.
I mean, it's gone beyond that now, where they don't want fucking normal punter in, as we've discussed numerous times. But Scottish football, I've said to you before, Scottish football maybe still has an opportunity to make itself what's the word? An alternative to the English League, somewhere you want to visit and you'll have a fun time and it'll be great for your family and it'll be great for your mates and it'll be great for the waddies to come over and you might keep the club in your heart because you come over. We've got this opportunity because there is tickets there to be had, but we just seem to kind of look down to England and try to copy them and it says, but anyway. Celtic.
The thing is, you look at Celtic, but right, and we are riding the crest of a wave.
Yeah.
And that Celtic now shut off the season ticket waiting list. You can't even go on it now because my mate tried to get his newborn daughter on it, and it's closed. He put a photo up the day.
Well, do you want to talk about the season ticket renewals and then because we'll go to talk about it later on, but let's talk about the new. I mean, we all got our numbers in. Have you got your numbers in, Jason? No, I'm going to ask you about it.
No, I'm fucking terrified.
Fucking hell!
That is a 5% increase across the board. And
season tickets on fire. Jason is terrified.
And you just say to yourself, the amount of money, we're cash rich, and they're still fucking bleeding us dry. You know, we do everything, every penny, every fucking spare penny we've got, we use it to follow them the length and breadth of the fucking continent and further. And they still come back and just bleed us fucking dry. It make you sick.
The 5%, I mean, like, I never got a wage rise this year, so the 5% is literally fucking walloped out of fucking my pocket, do you know what I mean? There's no covering it, so, and don't get me wrong, we're sitting here, us three of us all sitting here, well off enough people. We can afford that. We might need to change here and change, but we can afford that. What the fuck is happening here? Is that you, Marty?
No, I'm just moving on my seat here. What's up?
Jason?
No, it's not me. I'm not doing it.
No, it's just, I don't know. It's just fucking, it is obscene, isn't it? It is obscene.
It's totally obscene. And see, here's the thing, right? We are now paying EPL prices to go and watch SPL. You know, and as I say, I go down to watch Everton, and your match day tickets down there are no much dearer than they are to go and watch Celtic.
And the fucking prices to go and watch the Huns, isn't fuck's sake, £50 fucking to watch.
The tickets are out. I don't know much of them, but
57 we charge them 57. They'll charge us
60 fucking quid. Now,
by the way, no. The Old Firm game, Marty. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. It's called the Old Firm game.
That's why.
Change it 50. That was the whole fucking point. The Old Firm started. We'll fucking do this and we'll do that, and we're still tickling each other's boys. Pricks,
and then up to Tannadice tomorrow, everybody that got it through, because it was late, Celtic sent them recorded delivery, so your 42 quid ticket was 51 quid.
That's like, what the fucking fuck?
£51 to go and see Celtic at Tannadice tomorrow.
That would take you for a fucking, £51 would take you for a fucking steak dinner and a couple of beers.
By the way, here this one, our Joe's in hospitality tomorrow, £100 he paid. It's a bacon roll before the game, free swally. You get a pie and a cup of tea at half time, and then after the game you get 2 hours free swally and a 2-course meal.
Yeah. That was, see, I wasn't on the ball at all. until I saw somebody on the huddle board say there's still some here. I asked the boys, and by the time the boys said 130 quid the one was going for. And as you say, if I
This was
take
a
it for,
hunter. Says,
right,
mate, I
no, that was the original ones, aye, and I'm kind of going.
There's the prices there. I've just put it into the group chat. Look.
So it's.
But you're the normal punters.
56
Most people in that grun are paying 51 quid to go to this game tomorrow. 51 fucking quid.
51
quid. You go and watch the English Premiership. You're an away fan. You're paying £30.
No, the frustrating thing is, see your actual match going fan, be it Dundee United, be it the Huns, be it us, be it fucking Hibs. We're all saying the same thing, going, this is bollocks. Whereas,
do you remember we had the 20s Plenty campaign about 15 fucking years ago?
Craig Anderson started it, and I don't know, it just fell away. But Marty, see, the thing is though, our clubs look at, I presume that most clubs look at social media, and social media in general is full of guys who don't go to games. So they'll be sitting there and they'll go, Celtic fans will be going, guys like us going, 42 banger for Dundee United. What's going on? A Dundee United fan will go, you charged us 38 quid for that, but it's behind a pole. So you deserve that. You deserve that. Instead of like, I know for a fact I could be talking to Big, your man for the Dundee United podcast, and I'll sit and go, scandalous what we pay, and he'd say to me, scandalous what you pay. So, and I know Mark Stratton said the same thing. I know my brother-in-law, Rangers man, we talk and we go, it's fucking garbage, innit? And the thing is, we've not got the common sense amongst all yous to sit down and go, bollocks to this.
What's the strategy?
What are we doing? Fuck this. We're not, and I'll tell you what, we should also be doing it with regards to Bevy, because it's scandalous. We were just sitting there talking about the clubs. We're all struggling for dough, and there's this huge money sitting there waiting to get, and we're allowing people to tell us no, you can't get it, and it's fucking, I don't know, we're just, it's a stupid bastard. You've got to be upset. Fuck's sake.
It's all
first meltdown of the evening. Probably
it's because we don't get organised. It's the fans' faults, because we are doormats. They can do anything else. And as you say, they're Celtic now, because when Michael posted it on the chat about his daughter not going on, he says, surely there's a thing now for Celtic to redevelop the main stand. Obviously under the Ronnie Dyler years, things were small pickings, but see, at the end of the day, if Rodgers was to leave, we were to get a substandard manager in. Yeah. Maybe Dermot Desmond was to get fed up, and then the crowds would dwindle again. You know, if you weren't getting this fucking unequivocal success. But
the only thing is, I'm genuinely surprised. I'm almost loath to talk about it in case it kind of draws attention to it, right? But I am genuinely surprised that they've maintained the £50 prices for the kids tickets, because I bought my brother one in like 2006, so that's how long that price has been held. It's it's 20 fucking years, so I'm surprised genuinely that it has lasted that long. You know,
there's no more of them. You know,
try to get Wayne's tickets, because ultimately I've had my Wayne's on the waiting list for fucking many a year, and they're no quick and getting a Wayne's ticket. Do you know what I mean? So,
no.
But
what Wayne who got it in 20 fucking 06 is still a Wayne? None of them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, fucking hell.
No, I don't understand.
That was the thing that Everton always, they shouted to the rooftop saying, we've got the most kids season tickets ever. Fucking hardly any kids at the game. It's all adults. It's fucking
I know we're all taking the fucking thing.
Aye.
My brother, he did
Marty, one of our good pals, he just sent me a message here, right? Jason, where's your ticket for tomorrow?
Jerry Kerr.
Right, so you paid the 42 banger, right? So see the Vogue, vast majority of boys are paying 40 banger. And he says, they've not even got a proper flushing fucking toilet behind the goal. Have you been in there? It's basically a fucking a concrete wall. We've all been in there. And we're paying 40 fucking banger. 1970s facilities, 2030 pricing.
100%.
Well said,
It's
Martin
like
Kearney. Well said.
it's like a fucking it's like a bomb shelter. That's how I would describe the
Did
back.
I tell you?
The back,
That,
the back of
So
the back
sorry,
of the
Marty.
shed.
I'm
What's
going
it?
to go back to what Jason says. It is your right fault. We're not organised. We should have been organised years. Again, I'm repeating myself on this podcast. Hibs tried to charge us 28 quid and we all paid it because we knew, see, if I don't pay it, the guy next to me will pay it. I had an Ibrox fucking, what's it called? A fucking protest. I'm not going back to Ibrox. The price is Ibrox. That protest worked a treat in it. Fucking 56 banger for the fucking in. I mean, so we had a chance to stop at the end and we all hate each other. And like I say, I don't hate any away fans. We should all get together and go, this isn't right. And see next year, see when Dundee United come calling, we should say Dundee United, we're all gone. We should all go up.
The Celtic fans could do that on their own.
Easy, Marty, we could do that easy peasy, right?
If people
but the thing is, Celtic are just as culpable as all these cunts.
No, 100%.
And I'll tell you what, see if we could get the Scottish football fans or the match going guys, which again's no that fucking massive. We get the match going guys to go bollocks to this. Bollocks, no chance. We're no doing it. But see, Celtic fans, frustratingly, it's the same as the Huns. See if we don't take tickets, cunts will take tickets. Because
the thing is, right, so see, Martin for the Green Brigade that's been on the show, good pal of yours.
Fantastic, what guy.
Texted me earlier, and see, because he work, he missed the St Johnstone game, and then he just found out off his bus, he'd dropped down the list and he didn't have a ticket for tomorrow, right? So I made a couple of phone calls, and that's why I was late tonight. So I drove over to my good mate Michael, who listens to the show.
Hello, Michael.
Michael says, right, I've got a ticket here for you. So I drove over, picked the ticket up. So I've got it. So I'll meet Martin tomorrow, give him his ticket. But that's him now doing the list because he goes to every single game, but through work, he couldn't get to one game. And it's the same if you're getting your tickets direct through Celtic. If they offer you an away ticket and you don't take it, see, for instance, we were all going to boycott, Marty, you would need every person to boycott so that you don't go down the list. And it won't happen because the next guy doing that doesn't normally get for that game, once he gets offered it, he'll take it and then he's up the list. And they've got to be the boss because we're just all desperate to go and watch Celtic. And it's, do you know what, it's getting to the stage now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm more into it now for a social aspect with my mates, going in the bus. And I could quite happily give my ticket away for games and just go to the pub with my mates, sit there and watch it on the telly and get the bus on the way back down the road. And then it gets to the stage that do I really need my season ticket? Because it's merely a social. I mean, I do love Celtic and I love going to watch Celtic, but it's sticking in my throat now, the amount of money that it's costing.
Celtic are going to win the league if you're sitting fucking moaning.
I know. Fucking hell. Let's get to Hampden. Fucking. But I know, fucking hell. Mental. That's like a lockdown podcast in the making here.
By the way, Jamie Brown, mate, I'm with you 100%, my man. I'd like to come back to it. I'm going to star that one, in fact, and we'll come back to that. No, Hampden, right? Hampden. Let's get back to the point. And I say St Johnstone fan, but what a beautiful day. And it's, but again, it's going to typify Celtic fans here, right? So obviously we're in a couple of beers. I've took the wee man with me, so I'm fucking my usual joviality at Hampden. So I'm watching the game and a couple of moans and stuff like that. We've picked up on a wee misplaced pass, and that was it. Boom. As soon as we scored, that game was gone and buried, and Celtic just started. There was a famous thing, again, going back to Martin Kearney, I don't know if he's listening, and there was a great Bobby Murdoch quote. Marty, you remember this one from one of the DVDs? And he says, and the fans were all crying, "Ole." Ole. That's what they could have been doing in that first half. See that for first goal to the half-time whistle, Celtic were fucking amazing, man. What a glorious fucking period of football that was. Honest to God, everybody we've ever criticised flung it back in our face. Every one of them. Fucking magic. And it was...
I tell you one thing, Scott. Callum McGregor, see the first goal, McGregor's goal. How many times has McGregor scored that goal?
Mate,
On a
he just
fucking
waits. He waits for the guy to make a move. There's a space. I'll just put that. You see, he's cheating. Remember, like the Huns used to say about Nakamura done? He put the ball where the goalie couldn't get him. He's cheating. I mean,
he's what a football player he is, and what a football brain he's got. And see they goals, they're just like he must have scored 30 goals the exact same as that.
Yep.
Just the way he does it, and it's effortless. And
he just picks his spot too. He doesn't rifle it. That's what pisses me off about players like Tate and Christie before him, where they just blatter the fucking thing and it ends up fuck knows where. Do you know what I mean? But whereas McGregor just waits and just places it. It's fabulous to see.
Beautiful. And brilliant. And then the Roadrunner, 2 goals and all. Fuck. Sorry, Scott, I butted in. You were
no, mate. This is what I'm wanting. I'm wanting kind of, because I know we usually kind of pass it around. What did you do? But let's just bounce off each other.
Well, Liam
and Joe's not here to ruin it for us. So fuck you.
Fucking dies in my head. I mean, we keep going on about him every week, but fucking hell, man. What the fucking that guy? I just hope to God his family love Glasgow like nowhere in this planet. And he's just he's having a joyous time in his life and he's no interest in going anywhere else. Because how the fuck would somebody not come in for him? I mean...
Right, stop saying it. It's almost as if you're wishing it at this point. Right, fuck off.
Right, so the question to the panel here is, do we like Maeda better out in the wing than through the middle? Because Big Ida got his goal, which I was delighted about, and the big man, he was like kind of apologising to the fans after he scored, sort of thing. I don't know what, but
because you're the shite on the Friday night.
Aye, and fucking God love him, man. Fucking spewed in a taxi, big deal, man. Fucking imagine doing that. Oh Jesus Christ!
We'd love to get a good few drinks in me, and I tell you my fucking train track story, Christ.
I thought Brendan Rodgers was great about it when he spoke about it. He says, Adam called me, he's an ultimate professional, he had a day off. And that's sickening that folk are videoing things. I've never seen it, to be honest with you.
I've still not seen it myself, Jay, but
I'm interested in seeing it, to be fair.
Exactly. Well, a 24-year-old boy fucking, if he was spewing or no spewing, I didn't care when Scott Brown was sitting outside with a pizza. I didn't care when fucking... Not interested, man.
Young guys get a couple of swallows.
Exactly. Fucking Christ. If these boys have done half of things we've fucking done, man, God bless them, man. They'll end up fucking good as people as us.
And the thing is, right, see if they weren't spewing, you'd probably worry a bit more because they're obviously no use to behaviour. Right? Like, guys like us are like fond of a drink. So we've been in that situation plenty of times, and you build up a wee intolerance to it. They've probably not.
Anyway, back to your point. He'd have scored, you were delighted, but
just the thing is with Maeda, he's still producing the goods playing out in the wing, and I know he was brilliant up front, but I don't know if that was a lack of Kuhn playing or whatever that we tailed off a wee bit. Although Maeda was still producing the goods. But we seem to be a better team with Maeda out in the wing.
Yeah, I think so. I am 100% that Maeda plays wide. I'm 100%. There's no even any. I totally appreciate what he's done since he moved inside. I appreciate that he can move inside. I think that's a fucking an absolute bonus and a half. Do you know what I mean? Because we knew we got a striker that we put in wide. That's basically what we done. And the wee guy, the season he's had's been unbelievable. I think what he helps with the fullback I think him playing on the left with Kieran is going to be a strange dynamic. I don't understand. I don't really know how we're kind of going to do it. I love the fact that we've got a guy, Jota, who can play left or right. He's like Aidan McGeady, makes 100 look shite. But I want to see Ida come good, but I'm not selling my soul on Ida. See if we can go and get a guy who scores more goals than all of them, then I'm fucking ball deep into that and all. Do you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah.
Nah, I like him. I like him. I like him wide. I think wide he's excellent. I think up front he's excellent. I just don't... I don't think it's a... I don't think it's an either or. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, be honest, if you can go and get a fucking another white guy in another striker, I'd be into that as well.
What I would say is, but when you're playing top class European opposition, especially away from home, I think he's dynamite up front, because you're no playing three up. Well, you shouldn't be playing three up front. You want more to be more hitting them in the break and etc. Maybe no going as wide and keeping them more compact in the middle, because these teams rip you apart. And I think he's what a weapon he is there when you play him up front. I think against a top class European team, I think he's not the best finisher in the world, right? But he's good, and he's...
We're never going to have the best finisher in the world.
No,
really.
Exactly, exactly. But that's when I think he is valuable playing up front. But when we're playing in Scottish football against any team in Scotland, including that mob, I think he's better out in the wide, because he still gets the goals.
There's the thing. There's the thing about having these guys who can do all these things. Do you know what I mean? There's the absolute phenomenal thing that you can have a guy that you can trust. I mean, the bare facts it is, right? We played Callum McGregor at left back, however bad that was, because we could trust Callum McGregor at left back. And that's the thing about Maeda, is wherever we put him, that boy will work his ass off for you. And see that's Marty talked about running a football team. I mean, it's basics. Fuck, Jason, you're a gaffer. See if you had a guy, no matter what task you put him to, he gave everything they fucking go. Marty, you're the same. You worked. You had your fucking. You've ran fucking operations and all that direct. Now, I mean, if you've got, it's the same in any fucking line of work. If you've got a guy that you can trust is going to bust his hole, and you know what I mean, then fucking magic.
Aye. 100%.
I mean, it would be. The irony is, the last time we properly had this conversation was around Christmas, and we were talking about Kuhn leaving, and the fact that Kuhn kind of fell off a cliff has lessened that talk, but it does. Maeda's now the guy that you kind of go, see if you get a great offer for him and he isn't telling you I'm determined to go, then he's the guy now that you kind of go, he's no gone. Don't care much you offer. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's cut and dried, Scott. Through past experience with watching Celtic, etc. See any player that's shown an inkling that they want to go, get them out.
They've got to go. But I think that's fair, Jason. I think, the amount of time. Why are we such a negative fucker? We're just we're talking about it.
In the league with one of the best performances of the season, the Scottish Cup semi-final, we're all down or up. We actually haven't down or up. We're all buzzing.
Oh, mate. We're all fucking. Marty's fucking 15 kegs for a fiver. You know what I mean? He's fucking bouncing right. Anyway, right. So second half, quiet again. We probably coulda, woulda, shoulda scored a million more. Love Jota scoring.
I love the way he cuddled the fan. The fan that ran on's a clown. You shouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I mean?
He was only a kid, wasn't he?
Nah, but still,
mate. Who's taking their way into the football? Right. See if that boy gets his ticket himself I'm led to believe this is not the case. I'm led to believe his dad was there. See,
tell him to go.
See if my fucking boy was at the game and he ran on the pitch, I'd be battering fuck out him, man. I'd be on the pitch dragging him off.
I remember, years ago,
man.
I sat in the North Upper, right? We sat right at the
Yeah, let's say
right.
You had the drippy down.
We sat at the far right hand bottom corner of the North Upper, and there was a squad. I think Feast Bride sat round about us. There was a wee guy with him, and I don't know if you mind the game. It was one of the last games of the season. Do you know what? I don't think we won. I think it might have been the Lennon. See when Lennon won all the final games of the season.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been that one. Next thing the wee guy disappeared, I hadn't noticed. He was sitting behind us. Next thing he appears on the park, fucking running wild. Next thing he get the fucking jail. He was only about 12 or 13. And his old man had to go and fucking get him out. And mind there was a big kick up the way the coppers and the stewards and that were manhandling him and stuff like that. But fucking you don't have your fucking nut. He went and done his cell to the top tier, fucking fun of why you get done. Then go in the park. Fucking half his nut.
What is the thing? What is the thing? No getting running on the pitch.
I mean, his dad had fuck all to do, mate. It wasn't with his dad. It was me.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Fucking
I'm just saying. What is the laws that are running?
The only one I can justify was the time our Joe got the jail down at Motherwell. And it was the one, Chris, my mate for Hamilton, he ran on the park dressed as Superman at half time. He done that as a bet. Joe was drinking a bottle of Budweiser in the ground and they'd seen him in CCTV, so they came and fucking lifted him, took him out at half time, put him in the cells. Joe's lying in the cells. Next thing, fucking open the door, you've got a companion. Fuck Chris in with a Superman suit on. Chris is
the picture that they got him is just
fucking unreal. He done it for he got £100 or something like his mates bet and he wouldn't do it. So when they put him in the cell with Joe, he's like, what the fuck you on about putting me in here? I'll just break out of this cell, I'll just punch my way out. I'm Superman. So Joe didn't know him. Joe's like, who's this fucking rocket? So they end up letting the two of them out at half time and that was it, right? So I was up the West End one Friday night and I said to her, Joe, going to meet my mate Chris for a couple of pints. He's like, I ain't bother. Fucking walked in and Chris is still there. And Joe's like, I fucking know you.
That's Superman.
Chris is sitting on that. Aye, there you, Chris. Didn't he tickle? Joe's like, you Superman. He just burst out laughing. He's like, aye, that was me. Oh, Jesus. Superman. Fucking brilliant, man. So, at least he had a reason for growing. But I'm no for it. And the ironic thing is when you follow Everton down in England, they've had the best pitch invasions ever.
Oh.
They've had hunters.
I didn't like the one the boy would own and off the Mendes back to swap jersey with the boy. I thought that was.
I know that boy doing it at Nyarko doing at Arsenal.
Who was the player? Was it Akinbaye?
Alex Nyarko.
Nyarko. He basically said he was hopeless, wasn't he?
Aye.
He says, give us your jersey.
Fucking use your jersey.
I'll do better than you.
The best one ever was the guy. He's a legend in Liverpool. See when Graham Sharp scored the volley at Anfield. The boy mind they all just compiling on for Danny Road, and the guy does the windmill. He's running with his arms up like the aeroplane. It looked like the guy out of Proclaimers. You're the one I'm talking about. See if you get the video up. Graham Sharp scoring at Anfield. The volley scores it in at Danny Road, and the Everton then just piles on the park. And there's one guy, he's got like a Parker on, and he's doing the fucking aeroplane, and he looks like a guy out of the Proclaimers. He's everyone there knows him, didn't they? Aye, fucking brilliant. They've had some absolute peaches over the years. But no, I'm not a big fan of it myself. I get when the player runs behind the goal and they jump on the ash and all that, and you give that. Yeah, I totally get that. And a good pal of mine actually, I watched the game down in Liverpool. I was at the first Everton game of the season, Celtic playing away to Aberdeen, and we were getting beat 3-0 or whatever. We come back to draw, win 3-2, come back to draw 3 each.
Oh, I was
Jumped on
at 93, 94 or 5.
first game of the season. Would have been about then, aye.
I remember that.
Aye, and a good mate of mine fucking jumped on the park and cuddled the hangman and get the fucking jail go the next morning in Aberdeen. I was there in the water.
Nah, no for me.
I know. But there we go. So aye, it was so a couple of talking points, right? The St Johnstone goal getting ruled off for the foul on Ida, right? I thought it was mega harsh. What a fucking goal the boy scored. And I get there was a push on Ida, but do you think there was enough?
Listen, it was 100% fucking foul. He shoved him in the back. Like, where would that not be a foul? See if it had been the other way around. And
I'll tell you where it wouldn't be a foul.
well, probably
At
against
fucking Murrable.
Oh, aye.
At fucking Murrable wouldn't be a foul.
Exactly.
Aye. And
No.
the James Forrest penalty, what do you think of that?
Again, so we were watching that here.
See, I did at the start, but see when you see it again, you see the replays and that.
But the smack in the face surely would be fucking considered a foul. So if it's a foul, it's a foul. Like, no, man, I think we're off a fucking thing about penalties. I think we have a thing in our head about penalties. Like, it's not. Do you know what I mean? If there's a foul in the fucking box, it's a penalty. It doesn't matter if it's a soft foul or a hard foul or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And like, you feel sorry for that wee lad not getting his goal, but it was a fucking foul. You can't argue that double-handed pushing it back is a foul.
100%, Marty, boy. 100%.
So it's like people go, oh, it's harsh.
I'll tell Marty, sorry, I'm going to cut on you. I'll tell you where it's the exact same. Do you remember when Ibrox, they scored immediately? I think they made it 3-1 and then they made it 3-2 straight away and they chopped it off. Would that be right? Or they made it 3-3 something and it was the same thing. It was the same fucking foul. Cunts have got to realise a foul is a foul is a foul is a foul.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because you're 4-0 up and the boys fucking. It's the same. I'll tell you, what I'll put it in the same context is if you're winning 4-0 and there's been 18 fouls and 55 subs and fucking 14 guys injury that they only stick a minute on because the game's fucking done.
But sure, they blew the game up there at 90 minutes dead on. Like, and
yes, why did they do that?
Well, I don't know.
The game's done.
No, I know, but they should have done it. That's the point. There was subs and there was injuries, so they should have played the extra time. But
100%.
I was listening to Radio Scotland, and they were saying that they think that. Do you remember? You actually saw it on TV. Their manager came over to Rodgers and spoke to him, and I think that's where it came from. I think that their manager went, "We don't want any extra time. Just blow it up."
I don't give a fucking flying fuck. This is the Saturday morning amateur football. I remember I was fucking 8-0 up. It just after half time in the game, and I say to the referee, I say, ref, first opportunity you get, we'll just kind of can it. And I say to their manager, right, and you try to be nice because you battled the team, there's nobody's getting any enjoyment out of it, right? But this is professional football. Fuck that. Yeah. Right? No, you've got me again, Marty. Fuck's sake, I need to stop my beer.
It's like the mercy rule being applied, you know what I mean? But you're going, well,
I understand it, but see that the fact that injury time is at the referee's mercy, I think that's fucking nonsense.
No, and it's kind of like the VAR argument that the timekeeping should be taken out of the referee's hands.
I think
it should be like American, well, for want of a better fucking comparison, it should be like American football. The clock runs, somebody manages the clock. But like if you could think about it, like if say Maeda was going for his 50 millionth goal of the season or something, like breaking a record, and they blew it up, and when he was burned down on goal, there'd be fucking rats in the stand. Like, you know what I mean? If it was something along those lines.
St Johnstone fans all fucking kicking off, all four of them. By the way, did you see the St Johnstone fans slagging the Celtic fans for leaving at half time?
That was mad, but there was photographs. there was photographs of that I saw taken outside from like burger fans, and our fans were fucking streaming out at half time.
Aye, like, mate, honest to fuck, there
Like,
was,
what the fuck? Like, what would you do that for?
fucking all the boys. You know a lot of them. They were all. By the way,
To the bar.
we're going to bring somebody in here.
There's a
But
3-goal rule where a lot of folk, some folk have got a 2-goal rule.
definitely, that's Jason. That's exactly what happened. Was Andy? You can turn your camera off. By the way, mate. We don't do camera. I've muted you so you can't see them. But right, there's a thing in the bottom that says stop cam. Or you can right. That's us. Right.
And Andy, when I used to phone your radio show, and I was like,
Jason, how are you, mate? All right?
"How are you, Andy?"
I'm
Right,
good, man.
so
Aye.
we're introducing Andy Cameron to the show, right? Fucking shitty comedian. I think he's about 940. No, this is the famous Andy Cameron skid from St Rock's fame and for fucking 1998 fame. I would always say Andy, yeah? He's a fucking actor. He's a football manager, football player. He's a scout. Fucking does everything. How you
The
keep
Swiss
it?
Army knife. The Swiss Army knife's on.
No, it's happened to you, lads. No, it's happened to you, lads. I was a couple of weeks ago, right? I'm half scooped to now, right? So a couple of weeks ago, I was watching the show and Scott was on his cell, and I sent him a wee text saying, "Mate, I would love to come on and chat, right?" So out of the blue, I was out there. I've not been in a pub, right, for about fucking 3 months or something. And wee Paddy Wells phoned me, he's doing the pub, so I'm doing. I'm half scooped, right? And I seen a message from Scott saying, "You want to pop on?" And I went, "All right." And so as soon as I pressed the button and I seen that video, I thought, "What the fuck am I doing here, man?" But anyway, Scott, it's nice to hear I gave me that introduction. Thanks very much. It's nice to join you guys. Thanks very much.
I'm going to fling a wee hang up there. I don't know if you can see that. Billy Reid said he's pissed at the walking football though.
Billy's a cheat, mate. Billy's a cheat at the walking football. He picks all the best players. That's how I'm always in his team.
Right, to give some Andy, Jason, you've already spoke to Andy a million times. We had Andy on when we used to do the spaces. Andy would come on and give his fucking football chat. So I've known Andy because me and Andy came across each other in amateur football. And he ran Blocky and Star for up in Royston. And we became good pals through that. He invited me up to St Rock's. That's how I ended up with St Rock's. So he was a manager. He revolutionised that club. I still think he deserves a wee bit more credit than that club give him. However, and then he's moved on from there, and me and him are still pals. But he's still a massive Celtic fan. Goes to every game he can. So and his football's opinion, despite him being a specky turn up, his football opinion's pretty damn good.
Sorry, man, I'm one of them too, and my opinions are terrible.
Yeah, there you go. We've got 2 specky digits on. But Jason, you're a specky cutter, aren't you?
Only when I'm on front of the computer. No in normal everyday life. But it's coming.
So that's that. How are you, pal?
I'm all right, mate. I'm good, actually. Do you know the funny thing about it is, mate, I don't really get, since I stopped doing football, really, I do a select team for the Saturday morning league, but it's not the same. So since I stopped doing football, I don't really have the opportunity to speak much about it. So I started phoning the Radio Clyde phone-in just so I had somebody to talk about football. It's fucking mental, man. People keep saying, "I heard you on that show," but nobody tells me I talk shite, so I must be doing all right so far. But no, it's good. It's good to join you. I've been a big fan of the show for a long time. I came to the one of the do's you had down in Gracie's. Well organised, good chat. Do you know what I like about this show is?
Was that the one, Skid? Was that the one that Scott was walking across the tables with a fucking microphone? Was it that one?
That's the one, mate. That's the one, Jason. Do you know what the thing about you guys is? I hope you take this as a compliment, right? Please don't be offended. You see me, you don't give a shit, do you, man? You basically say what you think, and you're not toeing the line anybody. A lot of these fans, sort of forums and chat shows, there's a sort of company line in there, and I think sometimes it's too corporate. Sometimes I listen to you guys, I think to myself, thank fuck people are still allowed to speak their mind.
We've been very aggressively protective of our fucking willingness to talk bullshit without fear of reprisal. You know, it's like and like we've talked before. get about. Sometimes we get invites to the press conferences and stuff, which is lovely. It's nice that the team inside Celtic Park would even think of us to ask us along, but it's not really for us. It's not our thing. Like, we just want to talk among ourselves or with our pals and the chat room and just let people vent. Various times.
I don't know that. I don't know how this works. So see if I butt in sometimes, Scott. You know me well enough. You need to tell me to shut up, right? So I butt in a lot. So I apologise for this, right, up front.
Not at
But see
all.
for me, see you talk about the press conference and stuff like that. I think you need guys like you there, right? Because I sense this, and I suppose I'm going to be disparaging about other forums, right? And then I'm going to say without being disparaging at other forums, right? I think sometimes these guys, they go along to the press conference and it becomes about them, right? Rather than the voices of the people who they're actually fucking representing. Whereas if you guys go along, you're not going to be you're not going to be going along and try to get brownie points. You know what I mean? It's about asking the questions that it's supposed to be fans representative, but sometimes I feel as if there's a wee bit of egos and shit like that going on with the sort of a forums. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of order saying that, but that's how I feel. But I think you guys should go along it.
I don't think you're out of order in saying it. Right. So to get to this, as Marty says, we kind of get invited to it, right? So what we're in now is we're in an era where there's a whole bust of people, and this is a job. Know what I mean?
Aye.
And us as an age, we can't get in our heads that people are getting paid for sitting waffling shite. Know what I mean? Just saying, guys who are the journalists telling us, we kind of come for that. But that's what it is. I mean, we've all got Waynes. Well, I mean, like me and Marty, Waynes are a wee bit younger than yours, Andy, and Andy, yours are a wee bit younger than Jason's. But we all can see how YouTube is huge. YouTube's massive, man. And these guys get invited to fucking everything. Go and look at all these YouTubers and look at the YouTubers that sell it. See all these cunts getting invited to stuff. So these people, but as you say, to keep it right and to keep themselves going, they can't go in and go, Brendan, what the fuck did you know pick that guy for?
No, I get that, mate. I get that. I get that.
No. But to come back to us, the frustrating thing for us is everyone who has work, so we can't get today. I mean, there's a Friday. By the way, this is an open offer to anybody who's out there who fancies it. We often get invited to the live prep, and we would like somebody to go on our behalf. But now, we have no interest in you going and calling people dicks and fucking causing chaos. But if you're interested and it can help us, then you can take our invite, because none of us can go. We enjoy going.
Mate, I've been on the podcast for 3 minutes. I'm getting offered to go to Select Park to a fucking media conference. That's his class, mate. That's his class. No, but what I mean was that's not the angle I was going to. What I meant was, right, I want you to sanitise, mate, and see the guys who fair fucks to them, right? The guys who put on the shows and they get the listeners, they get the views, they get. And they need. I understand what you're saying there. That they need to toe the line, because if they don't toe the line, obviously it's quite easy for them not to get invited to things. But what I sense about you guys is there isn't a line. If you get me, it's more about.
But the thing is, so it's irony you're saying this, because me and Marty came for the temporary stand, and we suggested to Jason, Joe, Harper, well, why don't we bring it down to 45 minutes? Why don't we start promoting it to here? And me and Marty basically told, go fuck yourself, you pair of wankers. I mean, all we're doing is we're sitting talking to each other because we're pals. And there's a whole load of people like listening to our waffle. And me and Marty quite quickly went, aye, fair dues, aye, that's sweet. And then
you're right, Scott. The basis, I mean, I wasn't on Homeboys at the start. It was Joe, then Harper, then Paul, and that was on it, and then I joined it. And the thing that I didn't know anything about podcasts, and somebody had said to me once, and I was working away in Birmingham at the time, and it was the Lost Boys, and then the Homeboys. It was Chris McGuigan and that. So I'd be working in Birmingham, and I'd be going out for a curry after I finished work. I'd be getting the tram for Birmingham City Centre out to Smethwick. And I'd tell you, phones in, just listening to. I was loving it because I hadn't heard them like this before. So you're talking about, this was before Rangers went bust and everything. So it was like when 2012 was that? So it would have been 2010 or something. And I was like, fucking, this is amazing, right? So I had my earphones in, just listening. I was going for a curry myself and just got a few pints with a couple of locals and whatever. And then on the way back in the tram, I'd be listening to it again. I was like, great. So then they said to me, just come on once. So they sent us an email or something. So I went on, enjoyed it. And all of us was just guys talking shite about Celtic. You didn't have to watch your P's and Q's. You didn't have to. And it was, I really enjoyed it. So that's why I do it. And I'll be honest with you, Andy, I don't listen to any other Celtic podcasts. I don't really care. Because I go to all the Celtic games and all my mates go and I talk to my mates about football. And obviously Scott, Marty, Jonah are my mates as well. So we've got a wee chat. And I've got enough Celtic content with that I don't really need anything else. And I do listen to the odd podcast, but it's no Celtic ones. I just listen to fucking current affairs shite and things like that. But
see what you said there, though. You've got the opportunity to speak to your mates, the guys on here, about that sort of stuff. I've sensed, right, and Scotty, on all these things that I say, at any time, just tell me to shut up, right? Because you know me well enough, and the rest of you guys, you tell me to shut up as well. But I've sensed that a lot of that's gone, right? See, in the last maybe 10 or 15 years, right? You guys will remember this, right? You used to go to the game and you got opportunities to speak about football an awful lot, right? See, like you go to the game, you talk about it in the pub before the game, you go to the game, you talk about it, you go to the pub after the game. There's a theme here in them. But you talk about the game and the impact, excuse me, the impact of the game. Sorry. And you talk about the who played well and who never played well and where you on the league table and what's going to impact, la, la, la. See now because of social media, excuse me again, see now because of social media, there's not an awful lot of chat. I think, of course, I'm a fool. You know what I mean? I know, mate. You brought me on. I'm going to die on air, man. It's fucking terrible.
That's a bit of first.
I know. My missus gave me olives with jalapenos and garlic in it, right? And I think I'm being continental, and I think that's cracking, right? So I tanned one.
I kill you, mate.
Fucking hell, man. No, what I'm saying is, you used to get. See, it used to be normal. You go to the game, you talk about the game before the game. Talk about. See now because of the whole influx with the social media, there's not an awful lot of rooms for. See, guys like myself, right? Who go to the game. I go in the bus and I'll talk to my mate John Monaghan, who I go to the games with. I've went with for years. But I know, remember him, Scotty boy. But there's no an awful lot of dialogue in my life, right, about football between Saturday to Saturday. Do you know what I mean? But what you the way they used it is, he's basically talking about the game, he's talking about emotions, you talk about, sometimes talk shite, to be fair. But that shite is good stuff. It's the stuff we used to all talk about before you used to press buttons and have chats that way.
Aye, you're right. And it's like, yeah, I see it myself, going the same supporters bus and that, and like we have got a kind of right old school supporters bus, and I don't mean there's very few like majorly old folk on it, a couple. But it's all like folk, the optimum age on our bus is between 30 and 55.
Yeah.
You've got maybe about 7 or 8, maybe 10 young team, 16, 17. And see, to be fair, they're no sitting on their phones around like that because we got a right good crack on the bus. But you do see some of the younger ones, like after the game, they'll be on the huddle board, they're Celtic minded. And they'll be reading that and then replying to it and all that. And you're like, you're on a Celtic supporters bus here coming for a away game. Just talk to the guy fucking sitting across from you about the game. Why are you fucking saying that?
Andy took on St Roch's under 20s, and I wouldn't like to help him, right? And I was coaching with him, and we took a wee trip up to Dundee. We're up Lochee. In fact, was it Lochee, Andy? We went
Lochee, I went to Lochee one of the times, right?
We're up Lochee, remember? And remember me, you and Sweeney were down the front of the bus, all rattling into each other, slaughtering each other, and all the team, all these boys at 18, 19, 20, all sitting up by the phones. Some of them with headphones on, the majority of them all sitting on their phones. Not a word at them. Andy,
I was in the under 20s. That was the under 20s we had one. Aye.
Well,
do you know what? I end up training these boys, right? And by the way, good football players, good boys and that stuff.
Yeah.
But
by the way, I still see a good lad in the game.
But see, in my fucking life in football, right, I actually genuinely, you can't quantify it, right, but I genuinely seen a change in the way that people communicate. When we were younger, Scott, when my budget team played against your team, right, there was always battles, and there was always things happening, right, but basically people spoke, you know what I mean? Do you remember when we had a training session and we said to the under-20s, you can't pass the ball until somebody speaks. And by the way, never done it. I used to joke to them that you'd be better getting on the phone and going on the park so they text each other for a pass. It's a different world, mate. It's a different world, man.
That is wild. It's wild. But about your opinions, I'm fortunate enough, same as Jason, that sewer bus. I mean, I'd say the young boys are 35, and we all see after a game, we'll all get rattled at each other's seats.
Yeah,
well, that's good, isn't it?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck? And you know me, like right now, I'm pointing at the screen, and that's all it is. We're all fucking shouting at each other, and if we get beat, we're all fucking. Oh, there's a lot of opinions coming out, and as you say, it seems to be dying. It seems to be it seems to be flinging onto online, but it's no, but it's no a healthy online.
Nah.
It's like, see, if you don't agree with my opinion, fuck you, you're a cunt. Whereas you wouldn't say that in my fucking face, you rat dog, know what I mean? I'll fucking punch your teeth right half. But you say it on a bus, and then like it's But anyway, we're going to finish this semi-final. Celtic are on the road to a treble, and all we've done is moan about tickets. Fucking young team. By the way, we've got to change this to Homeboys to Old Boys. Fucking moaning Old Boys.
Fucking old cunts. But aye, and it's.
Andy, were you at the game? Were you at the semi-final?
No, Scott. I was at Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam. No, mate, I was in Amsterdam. I got a ticket, but we had a tournament there in Amsterdam.
So he did.
Cup. So they were there and played. It's chilled out that place, man. We went there.
How did they go on? Did they win?
Oh, no, they played on the Saturday. Was a sort of a qualifying tournament for they won it, but the bottom there's leagues of four. No, I mean, so the top two went through the final and the bottom two went through. So anyway, cut a long story short, the Saturday were shy. The Sunday were good, and they got beaten the final in penalties or something like that. But it was good. I think to be honest with you, I thought the parents were looking forward to more than the Waynes. The Waynes took in their stride, you know what I mean? But it was good. Amsterdam was cool. It was pretty chilled out. More chilled out for those. Again, see the cookies and all that. Fucking hell, man. I said to Donna when I was going there, Scott, I said, I'm not taking all that stuff, man. I'm not taking that. The Sunday night we watched the game, the semi-final. I watched the game. We managed to get it on a phone and then cast it on the telly. And then we had all this stuff left. Mate, I was fucking out my nut, man. So it was magic. So I sort of chilled week. I sort of chilled week now. So the answer, the long-winded answer to your question is no, mate. I wasn't at the semi-final.
Did you go and visit the Fenian lamppost when you were there?
No, I never left the camp. I never left the camp.
I think there's not many folk visit the Fenian lamppost anymore. I think if I was in Amsterdam, I'd always make a point of going there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. I'll be in Bilbao in June, right? I'll definitely be a photo outside that little.
The lamppost is gone, Jason. It's not there anymore.
Aye, but you know the vicinity where it is.
Oh, aye.
I'll always be there.
I got the photo.
Sorry, Marty. Right, a wee bit of silence, guys. God bless the Fenian lamppost.
God bless the lamppost.
Who put that up there?
Oh, somebody
You
getting dug up.
You get your jotters, Marty.
No,
Who's getting in trouble? Who's getting in trouble? Is it you, Andy?
I think it was me, mate. Aye.
You get in trouble, Andy.
I don't know the rules yet. I don't know the rules yet.
Here, first date on the Homeboys, and you're getting the divorce papers given to you. That's my type of
I thought
fucking
it was a
girl.
crack vacuum coming in there, Marty. But sorry,
No,
apologies. Andy,
he's
you
away.
get your own
Nah, it was
crack
me, man.
vacuum.
I've not got the rules yet. Sorry about that, guys.
No, that
Andy
man
gets
comes away.
himself
I'm on
out
my
on
own.
the Homeboys.
Oh, fuck, man.
Andy,
Hey,
there's-
once I get my arse felt with Linda, I fucking didn't like it.
Andy,
People are
mate,
still pulling me up for it.
it's
you
the
shut
funniest
up,
thing
she
ever.
said.
Jason was singing a song. I think it was a fucking athletic club song. And fucking the next thing you go, oh, you shut it.
But Jason, the truth of the matter is that we all know that they're the boss. So it doesn't really matter. We can talk shit. Us, we all of us in this chat can talk as much shit as we want. But there's only one boss in the gaff, know what I mean?
Here, I'm just saying, Jason, the Minister for fucking Finance, Catering and War is away this weekend. I'm on my fucking own.
Finance, catering and war.
I'm on my tour here with this other fucking crackpot. That's why I'm running out here trying to keep him quiet.
You've never fucking ran in your life.
Scott, my opinion on the game last, if that helps,
Go
right?
for it, Kev. Go for it.
On the game last week, right? I thought that I shouldn't take a defeat to re-energise anything, right? And I thought the manager was pretty cute. And for me, I think Jota should be. Again, this is debatable, but in my opinion, right, I think Jota should be somebody who we're putting front and centre as building the team going forward for next season. I know there's all the chat about him not being fit for next season, but I think what the manager did was, I think what Brendan Rodgers did when St Johnstone beat us a couple of weeks ago. I think he's looked about and he's went to himself that there's certain things that need to change. And I don't know the chat amongst you guys. I don't know the chat amongst the people who listen, right? But for me, for a long, long time, Scott, I don't know if I've said this to you before, I don't think Nicholas Kuhn's as good as people think he is, right? And I think that the message after the St Johnstone defeat was more aimed towards him than anybody else. That message about when you play for this team, you don't switch off. You don't just play in Champions League games against certain teams. You need to play every single game, right? So I thought it was good that when he dropped them the previous game, and then he kept them dropped for the next game. I thought it was quite an intelligent move, and I was glad that Jota scored when he came on, because I don't think he was as bad as other. I do believe, however, and this is my big thing at the moment, right? I don't think Kuhn's as good as people think he was, mate. I never bought into the fact about him. I think he was a flash in the pan. I think there's that whole thing about people coming in and performing really, really well and then settling down. And I don't know whether or not there's a correlation between when Jota signed in January and Kuhn's dip in form is about maybe Jota's just better than them, and now we're looking at a different. We're looking for something more from him. I don't know. So that my appraisal on the semi-final, very, very perfect. The first 30 minutes was nip and tuck, I suppose. After we got the first goal, I thought excellent.
Anybody want to jump in? I've got an opinion, so anybody want to?
I get your point, Andy, right, about Kuhn, right, but you can't deny what's happening in front of your face, right? And obviously when he came, he was pretty poor, and it all seemingly was down to the toothache thing or whatever was going on, right? But then he settled in, and you can't deny, see, for the first half of this season, he was outstanding. He was our best player. He was brilliant. But maybe a lot of that was down today with Alistair Johnson being outstanding as well, and the two of them playing together, a good understanding, overlapping runs, letting them cut inside. And the one thing I would say is a lot of his goals were very samey. You know, he was always like Johnson would pull the defender away, he would get space, he'd pull inside, he'd cut inside, then the shot with the left foot. So maybe limited in what he can do, but he was outstanding, and there was no debating that. I don't think anyway. But then he's absolutely fell off a cliff, and I don't know whether the Jota coming in is getting to do with it. Maybe it's a drop of Alistair Johnson's form, or maybe it's just something going on with him that maybe he has been tapped up, or maybe. I think there's definitely something going on there. He's not the same player as he was at the first half of the season. But what I would say, Andy, I'm not a believer in somebody's playing above themselves or anything like that, because actually what you're watching is what you're watching. You know, so they're to be there. But definitely something's happened that he's definitely know that in it. See if we lost him now at the end of the season, he was to go somewhere else where they get good money for him, I'd be more than happy because
Jason, I know that you're. I'm sorry for butting in, right? But just an observation I've had, right? So the main games that we judge ourselves on against the Huns, right? So here's my observation, right? And I know you mentioned about him and Alistair Johnston having a combination, right? I think for the start of the season it's bigger than that. I think that him, Johnston and Engels together have got underlaps, overlaps, and the combinations between the three of them are outstanding, right? And I think that, by the way, I'm going off track here a wee bit, but I've never had, as I said to you earlier on, right, I don't get a chance to talk about football at MD, so I'm really glad to get an opportunity to share this, right? So here's my view on something, right? Engels, Johnston and Kuhn, the start of the season have got great combinations. There's three of them, one underlaps, one overlaps. They were excellent, right? So the games that we judge ourselves on are the games against Rangers, right? So they came to Celtic Park a couple of months ago. And what we see when Callum McGregor was injured, right? I think Brendan Rodgers made a wee bit of mistake by moving Engels into the McGregor role. And I'll tell you why, right? So he's took Engels out of a role that the three of them combine very well, right? And he's put him in the role that Callum McGregor usually plays. But I think everybody on this fucking chat will agree, right? That see during that game, right? Alistair Johnston was absolutely terrible, right? Nicholas Kuhn was absolutely terrible. Now, for me, I think it was McCown that started that game in that area of the park that Engels usually plays. For me, it wasn't about they two being bad. I'll get to my main point when I finish here, right? But then Schmeichel didn't have a great game. His distribution was poor. And Engels didn't have a great game either, right? So for me, what I think, there's two things here, right? Engels moves out. They take away the three people playing together in that sort of a combination. Engels, Kuhn and Johnston, right? So they lose something right away with it. Engels drops in and plays in the number 6. And Engels' movement isn't the same as McGregor. So therefore, Schmeichel doesn't play as well as he normally does. But see, for me, I'm not slagging individual players here. I've got an observation, and none of you might agree with this, right? For me, that's the first time I've ever thought to myself about a Celtic team that's, I don't know the right terminology, right? That's overcoached. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. When number 1 gets it, it's gone to number 2. When number 2 gets it, it goes to number 3. When number 3 gets it, it goes to number 4.
Position, you don't know
so when you move Engels out of that position, all of a sudden it all breaks down, right? So Schmeichel's not getting Callum McGregor to knock it to. And in the area where Kuhn and Johnston play, there's no third person that's in tune with them. But I actually, what I'm going to say is that I think that's a bit scary that your team's so drilled, there's no any individuality. And I thought for myself, when Jota came back, I thought, is he going to be able to play in this team? Is Brendan Rodgers going to allow him to have that individuality, which he has done, which is fair. But I thought, I don't even know, I don't even where I started.
Right, can I jump in, please?
Right.
Because Marty, have you got something to say before I fucking gaff in this?
Right. Go fucking radio, son.
Point 1, I agree we're overcoached, right? But I think that's a generalisation of world football. I think we're trying to outcoach. I think what we've seen this season maybe suggests otherwise, that we allow a bit of freedom, a bit of luxury and stuff like that. However, that's not my point. I want to come back to Kuhn, right? I think people need to take one big, massive step back on Nicholas Kuhn, yourself included, Andy. Right? And the reason I say that is, so to give you some backstory, when we signed Nicholas Kuhn, my German friend, Borussia Dortmund pal, he loved Nicholas Kuhn when Nicholas Kuhn was a boy. He thought this boy was going to be a superstar for Germany. And if you go and look at Nicholas Kuhn's history when he was a lad, he played with Ajax, played with Bayern Munich. And it never worked. Despite all the talent he had, it never worked. And he ended up going and loan to a lower German team and then ended up with Rapid Vienna. So he's 25-year-old this year in January. He has never produced as he has done this season. Never. He's never scored as many goals. He's never assisted as many goals. This is a guy in the up. This isn't a guy who's no got heart. This is a guy who's grown into his body, who's grown into his career. Now, I understand if we end up with a fucking mad bid, we would sell him in the first thing. I get that, and it would probably work out better for us. I think this is a guy that we still need to mould into what he's going to be. I remember Liam Miller coming into Celtic first team at 24, and ever since that, I've always felt, see, at 24, he's start becoming a fitter player. Don't get me wrong, you've got these fucking oddities at 18, 19, 20, but did any of these happen to watch the the Gary Neville thing with Duncan Ferguson on it? It was like, honest to God, if you haven't seen it, it's one of the best interviews you'll ever watch. It's fucking magnificent. But Duncan Ferguson says, I was the youngest player at Euros in 92, and I was 20-year-old. And you're sitting going, fuck me, we're flinging Wayne's in at 15, 16 into the Euros now. Nicholas Kuhn is a young guy, and he's had his best ever season. Best ever. And it's just, and his kind of forms fell off. I think we're reading far too much into his mindset. I think I think it's just, he's never played, right, I'll tell you about, here's the stats. See this season, he's played 19 more games than he's ever played in any other season combined since. 19 more games. And the same thing goes on about Arne Engels. Arne Engels hasn't played 50 games a season. It's no normal for him. So we need to fucking relax a wee bit. Always need to relax and kind of go, these are human beings. See if like you think about, you go to your work and you're working for fucking 8 hours a day, and then you get a new job and you're working for 12 hours a day. Are you telling me that they fucking last 4 hours you're sitting going, I'm fucking still magic? Are you fuck? You're kind of going, this is fucking murder, man. So we need to relax on Nicholas Kuhn. Nicholas Kuhn has been fucking magnificent for us this season.
All right, Scotty, I'm sorry for talking this, right?
See if
Sorry,
we go, Andy.
Will you go, Andy boy?
No, before Andy goes, I'd say that was the right good shout there, Scott, sorry.
Scott, so sorry.
Wait for this guy to go at me.
No, I know. I'm going to go back here, mate. I'm going to go back here, didn't you?
I'll let you fucking rattle.
I'm going to paraphrase what you said there, mate. I'm going to paraphrase what you said and what I said. I said that he's had a purple patch, which is sort of a clouded my judgment, right? But then you said you disagreed with me. But then you went on to say he wasn't very good before he signed for us. I think you basically said something like, you never really played for Ajax, never played for Dortmund, whatever it was. But you said that before
I never said he never played. I said that was my point.
So he never hit the heights. I think you said something like that, right? So he never hit the heights before he came. But then he came to the tooth injury last season, and what you then said is he went on to be very, very good for us, right?
Yeah.
I said before when your comeback to me was that I suggested he's not as good as we think he is, but I'm going to say something to you, right? So he's not been very good before he came to us, right? Which you've agreed to. Then he's hot, which I called a purple patch. You said he's just coming into his own. What I'm saying to you is like, this guy's got pace to burn. Believe it or not, in the stats, I do believe you'll correct me if I'm wrong. He's faster than Daizen Maeda. This guy's one of the fastest guys in UK football. So what's happened, I believe, is that he's come in this season. He had his injury in that last season. He's hit the heights. He scored a good goal against Manchester City in the lead up, which means fuck all, right? But he's had a wee bit of confidence at the start of the season, and he's done that thing where he comes up, and I think Jason said it's a bit samey, right? It's fucking very samey. He goes down the line, he cuts inside, and he curls it towards. I don't know how many assists he's had, which I'm pretty sure it's decent. But for me, mate, I get what you're saying, and I get you're saying hold on to him and stuff like that. I don't rate him, mate. It's not going to change my opinion.
Wow,
so I don't rate him.
So we're sitting in a generation where Kevin De Bruyne was wrote off as pony, right? And we're sitting where fucking Salah was rolling. Mate, football players get better. That's just my
I know.
opinion. They get better.
Yep.
Experience. We're all sitting here, experienced boys. Experience gets better. Experience
Yep.
makes you something, right? This boy played with Bayern Munich. He played with fucking, right? And he never got a sniff. And he had to work his way up. And he fucking done well. It's the same as Ida. See, Ida has
Oh, mate,
bettered
mate, please don't, man.
but
Please
Ida's
don't.
bettered himself every season right now.
Please
He's
don't.
bettered himself every season.
Mate, you've got my two. I know. I'm sorry, Jason. I know you're going to come in there, right? Mate, Adam Ida is in no way whatsoever, in any circumstance, good enough to play for Celtic.
What an absolute rub. Right, who brought this guy on? Fuck's sake, man.
He's not.
But he was good enough when he equalised against the Huns. He was good enough when he scored when he won us a cup. He was good enough then, but he's not good enough now. That what you're saying?
Mate, you pick any.
So,
There was
no.
a guy.
When you watched Celtic draw back Aston Villa 2-2, did you say this guy's not good enough? Or did you go, brilliant?
No, mate. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Scotty, I hope you trust my judgment here. What I'm saying to you, this isn't flash. This isn't flash to the pan for me, right? It's no flash to the pan in any circumstance. If I got time to give my whole dichotomy of the Ida situation, in my opinion, is that all right? I'll take it about 2 minutes. Is that okay?
Well, your Kunwan's been fucking slaughtered, right? So
That's all right. That's all right. It's about opinions. That's what I said to you earlier on, Jason. It's fucking brilliant that we can talk, innit? It's brilliant. This feels like 1986 in a pub. Anyway, I'll tell you my demeter dichotomy, right? Right, I believe that obviously he came on loan last season and he done well enough, right? He scored big goals at big times, but even then, right, I'm going to be honest with you, even then I thought to myself, he's okay. He's all right. He's back to go in front of the ball. There's not much happening in channels and stuff. It's not happening. But he got big goals at that time. And I believe, here's what I think happened, right? I think that Brendan Rodgers, the egotistical person that he is, right, went to the board and went, I want this guy. I'm going to make him better. There was see if Norwich had a sell-on clause of £3 million, They'd have rubbed their hands for they'd have rubbed their hands for Celtic buying £3 million, but they went to £6 million was met by the cost, and then went to £9 million, right? And the question I had at that point is, anybody in the club took a step back and went, whoa, reverse a wee bit here. For £9 million, we can get him or him. My understanding is that, you guys probably know this better than me, my understanding is that Brendan Rodgers pushed the boat out to get him, which is fair enough because they thought it'd deliver. My opinion is, so Scott, the observations you made there was the Aston Villa game, right? The 2 goals he scored against Aston Villa were in the 6-yard box, mate. He done okay. It was decent goals, right? Adam Ida gets the highlight for Celtic having a period of 15 minutes against Aston Villa were excellent. He was the forefront of it. In my opinion, he didn't. He genuinely, right. And again, usually a shot me down here, and I can take that. It's fine. In my opinion, in that game, he offered fuck all else. And since then, my opinion has, I suppose, been cemented in the fact that he plays in a number 9 position where he's supposed to hold the ball up and bring people in position. He didn't do it. He's touched. No, mate. No. His first touch is poor. He doesn't get any when there's areas of the pitch. There was a game, in fact, Saturday there, earlier on in the game, there was nothing each time. A ball get crossed across. I think it was Kuhn that crossed it across. Fucking Maida beat Ida in the air behind him to win the ball. Mate, I don't rate him at all. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about him, and I hope I'm wrong about Kuhn. But I would be very, very surprised if 1 year from today, either of them play for Celtic.
Right. Fair dues. It's good. It's good to get a counter opinion. I think you're fucking 100% right.
So Andy, see last season, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, slagging a centre forward for scoring 2 goals in a 6-yard box is a bit of a stretch.
Wild.
It's absolutely borderline on fucking insanity because he's a number 9, a centre forward, and where he's meant to be in the 6-yard. Do you think somebody placed him there to get the ball, or did he make the run? Did he position himself where he thought the ball was going to be? Is that not a skill in itself? So see if somebody that plays for my team that gets me 2 goals every game but does fuck all else, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, mate, I could have took that. See Giacomakis, 100% every single fucking day of the week. Didn't do anything but scored 2 goals. Right? So if you want to look straight into the thing that I spoke about, I'm glad that I'm being the voice here that people disagree with. That's great. I love it, right? But see if you talk about the two goals, Jason, right? The first one was a deflection off of John McGinn. So Adam had done fuck all to get in that position. It landed at him. Luckily, right?
No, he did a lot. He made the move to get in the position he was in.
Mate, no.
You don't get a crane that picks you up and drops you where you're.
Mate, he's in the wrong position. It was a deflection off John McGinn that fucking fell in his where he was. So he's not in the right position.
And he's finished it.
He's finished it. No, listen, the big guy can finish, right? But see if you go back to Scott's. No, wait, one second, Scotty. See if you go back to your argument about Nicholas Kuhn, right?
Yeah.
Who was it? What is it again? He was at Ajax. He was at Bayern Munich. Right. Okay. So let's use the premise of your argument, right? Right.
No, no. My argument wasn't Bayern Munich and Ajax. My argument was we have seen this guy grow because he was very good. He was very good. Once he started getting football at Rapid Vienna, we've signed him. He's on an upward trajectory. We are seeing the positives, right?
I agree. He had a decent sort of a background in football, eh? Yep. Yeah. So let's look at Adam Ida, right? He was fucking something like 5th choice striker for Norwich. He's not got any pedigree whatsoever. I believe that Brendan Rodgers went, I'll make him a player. He scored the goal. By the way,
see, to be honest with you, Andy, right? See the pedigree he came to us. The pedigree for us was he helped win us the league and the cup last year. That's all that matters to me. See, he's a Celtic player. So, right, here's the thing. See if Adam Ida did not get signed in loan last year, there's a right good chance we wouldn't have won the league or the Scottish Cup.
100%.
I agree.
Right. So what fucking mere pedigree do you want?
Surely somebody in the door is better than somebody that you've never seen.
So Jason,
would you rather keep? That's a question.
Oh, would I kept? I don't think we'll replace Giacomakis, right? And we'll certainly not. We've not replaced Kyogo then. We've not replaced Kyogo. And it's a big factor that Kyogo leaves in January.
That is a fact. We didn't replace him because we didn't sign a striker once we lost.
Aye, but so Jason, right? Take all this into consideration. What you're saying is last year, would you have signed him? We're all emotional and they've done well last year. 100% of them signed him, right? But they signed him definitely as a second striker. No, his first choice.
He was signed as a second striker.
Absolutely right. But then January the first striker leaves. So the manager's got a choice to make right in January. Does he play Adam Ida as first striker? And if he's got all the belief in him, then he needs to, because Maida's playing on the left-hand side and doing pretty well up until that point, right? So therefore, why is the manager not put Adam Ida in his number 9?
But that's we discussed this before he came on, Andy, right? So obviously weren't they, right?
Sorry.
So, no, Maida was outstanding up front, but me and Scott and Marty had the discussion to say, do we think domestically Maida's better out on the left with Ida up front? We didn't actually say Ida up front, but obviously that's the natural number 9 that's going to be up front. We've not got anybody else. Or Johnny Kenny, who's right out the picture for whatever reason. I don't know. The boys know.
I don't understand that either.
Aye, that's one thing I would maybe sort of hold against Brendan. I think that boy's been, for whatever reason, I don't know, he sees him in training every day, but he's not gave the boy a chance, and his goal record in League of Ireland and Conference League, etc., is exceptional. But I think the way we are set up now, and I've got no doubt, I think Adam Ida will start number 9 tomorrow, and I think Maida. I think we'll start with the same team as we played at Hampden. And we had a discussion last week. I'm kind of going off topic, but we did a discussion last week, Scott. You were on.
Topic. We started on the semi-final. We're fucking. We're in Cammy's lagging now. Fuck's sake, man.
I know. So we actually had a discussion last week. Me, Marty, and Joe. with a discussion about what the team would be. So let's fucking totally flip it, right? And we said, let's leave Ida for the minute, right? But we actually spoke about, is Scales now the preferred choice with Carter Vickers, the centre back?
Wow, Jason, you're like a fucking professional here, you cunt, man.
So let's take, so
let's open up to Andy Boy first. I'm interested. Andy was a defender. Let's hear it.
Aye, so me, Marty and Joe, Marty will agree, the three of us were in agreement that Liam Scales has won the jersey back and he's now the preferred centre half, and Trusty's got to wait his chance because he was a bit fucking bomb scare material, and Scales has come in and I think he's performed admirably since he's come back in. And to be honest with you, I think Scales is better than Trusty, but maybe you don't agree, but I don't know what you're saying, Andy. So we'll do the centre backs first, then we'll go into Taylor, whatever. But get for that, we'll get to that at the end because obviously we'll work our way up the park. But what do you think, Andy? Scales, has he won the jersey back?
If you're asking my opinion between Scales and Trusty, right, I'll try and do it quickly, but I'll give you a sort of overview of my thoughts on it, right? Which is unlikely. It's unlikely to happen. If I was playing against Real Madrid,
Andy, have you got a beer in your hand?
Aye, mate.
You've got a beer in your hand. Good stuff. Because these shows usually go for about 4 or 5 minutes.
So, if I was a Celtic manager, right, and we're playing Real Madrid tomorrow, right, I would start Trusty every single day of the week, simply because he's got more pace to get in behind. If they go in behind us, he's got more pace. In terms of distribution, I think both of them are. See when Liam Scales plays the ball forward to a striker.
Let's face it, next season we've got Champions League to talk about. We're talking about domestically, we're talking about
Liam Scales deserves a jersey, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's your reasons?
My reasons are that he developed a relationship with Carter Vickers over the last year, right? He never done much wrong. And it's not, my reasons, unfortunately, are not going to be a fucking a reinforcement of Liam Scales' ability. It's more about what he's Trusty's no much better than him. I would play Trusty in a game. See, in a game where there's going to be fast strikers against us, going to get in behind us. I think I'd be more confident in Trusty because of his pace. I don't think either of them distribution to the wide men is poor. But what I did notice earlier on the season is Liam Scales' distribution when he plays a ball into the sort of a channel, he's a great distributor of the ball. So again, it goes back to that thing about how overcoached are we? And as Liam Scales getting told to do things, see if you watched his last game there, he had the ball and I think he tried to play it towards the left fullback area, maybe Taylor or maybe Maeda I'm not sure, but the ball went out of the park a couple of times, and the fans can get on people's backs for that. But I don't think that was Scales. Again, maybe I'm probably wrong, right? But I don't actually think that was Scales' choice of pass. I think we're over fucking drilled. So again, and answer your question, Scales or Trusty, either for me, I would go Scales at the moment, yes.
Nice one.
However, Jason, I'm going to ask you a question, right, about the Adamida thing. I'm going to ask you a question. Use a question, right? I'm going to ask you a question, right? So you said that Adamida will start tomorrow as a sort of validation of the conversation we had earlier on, right? See, we're going to Ibrox next week and we need to beat them. We win the league. It's nip and tuck. Please be honest, right? Would you start Adamida?
If we need to go to Ibrox to beat them, so if we lose the more and the Huns win.
No, I don't mean that, mate. I mean, if the points are equal, right? If we're in a mad situation where the Huns are equal with us in points, right? And we had to go to Ibrox next week and we had to win, would you start Ida? Be honest.
I'd probably start Maeda up front.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? See, with Kuhn being right half form.
Yeah.
The godsend is we've got Jamesy Forrest back, so we can play Jamesy Forrest and Jota. So yep. I would go Forrest, Jota, and Maeda up front because when you're playing them, they're a test, right? They're a decent side. So basically, it's more like playing a European team, whereas domestically against every other team in the league, we can get away with it. And playing Ida up front. I'm wanting to play Ida into form because I think Ida's got it. I think if you get Ida confident and sharp, and I think the boy's a player. Ade, I think, is a good number 9. And you kept going back to Giakoumakis. I think the two of them are kind of pretty similar. And I think Adam Ida's got all the attributes that Giakoumakis had. And I think Adam Ida will get better. But if it was like on the line last game of the season, they had to win the league. We had to play them to win the league. I'd probably start with this current squad we've got now. I'd probably start with Maida up front.
Yeah, me too.
I'll let the rest of the boys have their opinion.
Well, so did Adam Ida start any of the previous losses? Or Andy?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
No, he didn't at all. He didn't start any of the previous losses. All these guys that you keep telling me are better started all these losses that we had against the Huns. See, to be honest, Adam Ida is Adam Ida. We keep going on about Giakoumakis. Forget Giakoumakis. You might as well talk about fucking Larson.
I said the guy twice. Simply because...
But there's no point in bringing him up. He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave. So there's no point talking about him. I like Adam Ida. The rest, all yours like Adam Ida. It's great.
I don't like him. I got
that.
Just to nail on the mass, right? Mate, I don't rate him in the slightest, mate.
And you've called Kuna cheap as well. So
I never called him a cheat at all. I just said he's a purple patch.
What the hell?
I said he's a purple patch, which I thought he's back down to his level now. So therefore, and what you said was he wasn't very good before he came here.
What's that?
But no. I said Coons had a purple patch, right? I'm laughing at myself here for saying this, right? I said Coons had a purple patch, but your counter was that, mate, he wasn't very good before he came to us. He's not very good now. But he was good then, which actually suggests to me that you also agreed to purple patch.
He's 25-year-old, and
I
he's
know,
a
mate.
guy who's playing more football than he's ever done in his life, and he's headed up the way. And you've took that as he's had a purple patch.
No, I'm not took it. I've watched the guy playing. I've watched the guy playing, and I don't rate him. There you go. That's just as simple as that. I should have a single opinion. A single opinion.
As Jason says, when it was good, you were sitting there going, he's shit.
Aye, I was saying to you, I swear to God, mate, when he was good, I was going, he ain't all that. He ain't all that, mate. Mate, I was saying, he ain't all that.
He ain't all that. Well, maybe you're right. But see, be honest. Right,
you were actually saying that, Andy, when he was fucking ripping it up at the start of the season. You're going like that. Nah, he's kidding us all, and he's fucking...
Jason, I swear to God, mate. Jason, I swear to God, mate. Sorry, on you go, sorry.
No, what I'm saying, Andy, is did you notice a fall off on his form the exact same time that Alistair Johnson had a fall off?
Maybe I don't analyse that much, but what Jason was saying there, that was I saying when Coon was going through that period, I'm not sure about this guy. Jason, I swear to God, right, I did because I don't think...
I find that bizarre.
I know.
I'm a bizarre sort of guy, mate. But it's just...
You're no one of, right, Andy, you're no one of these guys, are you? Please tell me you're no one of these guys. We spoke about these guys last week. Me, Marty and Joe, because Marty was the guy with Maida, and Marty was the guy with other players, and I've been the... I'm kind of know the guy because Andy pulls a green white jersey and I can see the goodness in them, and I'm like, they'll come good. And I defend
even Morris Johnson, we had the photo of him.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I love that bastard, man. I loved him. He's my hero.
Harper's got that photo and he's never shared it. And God bless Harper for that. But see, like Marty, you didn't come in here. Marty mentioned it last week. See when we slag off players, which isn't very often, but we'll give your opinion, right? But we're delighted to be proved wrong. Fucking the moon to be proved wrong. You're the guy that's wanting to be shite so you can be...
No, mate. No. No, not in the slightest,
There
man.
you go, an allegation
As I-
against you.
There you
You're
go.
fucking
Mate, as I
making
said
the
to you
show.
earlier on, mate, Jason, as I said to you earlier on, this is true, right? I don't actually get the opportunity to talk about football to a lot of people, right? So therefore, see what I'm trying to articulate the new is, see what I said earlier on, I go to the game and I talk to the guys I'm at the game with.
You're
I've said to the guys I go to the game with, even when Kuhn was doing that thing, I thought, nah, he's not great, right? He's not as good. He's not as good as what we made out. He was a shining beacon because he scored a couple of goals in big games, right? At that point, he cut inside and he cut. Mate, if I say to all you that are listening, right, talk to me about Nicholas Kuhn's attributes, right? What you'd say is he gets the ball wide, he cuts inside in his left foot, and he curls it into the far post. Is that fair?
Totally.
Yeah.
And he frustrates the life out of me that will never hit the byline.
So, mate, so that's my point, right?
I
My
watched
point
Aaron
is that
Robin do
he ain't
that.
all that, is he?
I watched Aaron Robin done it for the 100 years. I mean,
Aaron Robin done it right, fair enough. So what I think the last two Celtic managers have asked is that when one wide guy gets the ball, the other wide guy becomes the most important player, right? What somebody gets done. I'm talking about peak time like Abada and maybe Jota, right? In the first instance, right? When one of them got to the byline, the other one got to the back post, and I think Brendan Rodgers and a couple of things I picked up on anyway. I don't know if Brendan Rodgers makes a big deal about see the guys who get to the wide areas. The other wide guy needs to be at the back post, right?
yeah.
That's why I was really impressed about see the goal that Jota got on Saturday there, Sunday, whatever it was. I was really impressed that he got to the back post because the ball got in that area. I don't think that Kuhn does that at all. I think he's always he always works in that sort of channel.
What I'll
I
give
don't know.
you,
Listen, by the way, I'm probably wrong. I don't rate him. There you go.
What I'll give you, Andy, I think Jota is amazing. And I think Jota has accentuated our level of winger
Mhm.
in the same way that Kieran Tierney accentuated our level of fullback.
Outstanding.
To the point that people still criticise Greg Taylor, even though Greg Taylor's been fucking shit hot for Celtic. Because of KT, people always and Jota and I reckon Jota will once he gets a pre-season, Jota's got to come back and blow the world away. And we've spoken with this in the past, J-Bo and Marty. We'll end up selling Jota for fucking millions again.
I know. Jason, but by the way, Jason, I was on that Clyde phone, and as I said to you earlier on, right, that's the only people I can talk to about football, right? And I actually quoted you, Jason, because the last time I listened to the show, you were talking about Greg Taylor, right? And you said something to me that I thought, fucking hell, that's bang on, right? What you said was that Greg Taylor's unfortunate that he's the second best left back the Celtic had in the last maybe 20 years. I think you mentioned Tom Boyd, right? And you went, well, he's maybe not that level. And you said Izagiri might be running about it. But Greg Taylor certainly is the second best left back. And what you said was that night, you said, I don't know if you remember, you might be drunk or whatever, but you said the best left back at that point was Kieran Tierney. But unfortunately for Greg Taylor is that Kieran Tierney's going to come back again. So Greg Taylor is seen, unfortunately, as, for me, Scotty, I would keep Greg Taylor 1,000,000%. I thought until maybe the St Johnstone game, I thought Sloop fucking looked like an athlete. I thought, my God, man, this guy's fucking super. But apparently, when they played in the Bayern Munich game, I thought, fucking hell, this guy's good. But you know what? Greg Taylor.
Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Marty, me and you, we spoke to Brian a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about this very thing. And I thought Brian was, by the way, he chats good, doesn't he? But but we were talking about how the difference of we can see how uncomfortable that Sloop was trying to be that player in the midfield. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was how. So Greg Taylor's come in, and he's kind of almost. He's went a wee bit fucking Anakin Skywalker. He brought the balance. He brought the balance to the team. I thought.
But again, when we were talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
But when we were talking about players, right, and everyone's entitled to their views, and I'm really interested in the views that are being expressed in it. But I always labour on the point that some signings come in to keep the fuckers who are in your team on their toes.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yep.
we did speak about it with Brian, and I was saying that the natural reaction that Alameda would have had when Kyogo was saying was, right, here we go, straight swap, that's me in, and I'll now be playing. But then we're fucking saying Jota, which put us in the horns of a dilemma because Jota plays on the left. So Maid
He
has been on
plays on the
fire.
right. He's a big team.
Right, so Maid has been on fire. You can't fucking drop him. Kuhn was playing brilliant the whole of the autumn, so you can't drop fucking him. So Ada again resumed his position on the bench. But if Ada comes on and scores goals and keeps the players who are in the team on their toes, then that's a successful signing.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
so it's not all about, oh, I paid fucking such and such. Who gives a fuck? Like we're in this ridiculously inflated environment. I remember people being absolutely fucking flabbergasted that we spent like 3 million on Alan Stubbs. People were going, what the fuck? This is mental. This is crazy money we're getting into this shit show and banned players from England and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And we've signed a player like Engels for big money and cunts want to hang him. And I'm going, but what? He's a young player. He hasn't played in this environment before. He's playing in Europe. He's playing. All of the team are playing more matches this season than they've probably, any of those signings have ever played in their lives. Right? And the team, and if you listen into this podcast, then we said this because, well, I certainly said the whole length of that Champions League campaign we were maintaining a seriously good level in league form, and that's not the done thing because there's always like what we describe as European hangovers, and you're tired from the fucking midweek exertions on the weekend. Sometimes you drop points. We hammered through the first 6 months of that league campaign
Yep.
alongside the Champions League campaign. It was unbelievable. It was a brilliant effort from the whole team. So it shouldn't really be any fucking surprise that as you're coming into the fucking spring, we're starting to limp a bit. Do you know what I mean? Now it's made worse by losing to the Huns. People lose their shit because our 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 fans have an idea that the Huns are some sort of third-rate fucking team. They're not. They're actually not a bad team. They've been desperately managed, but they've got talented players who can bloody your nose at any stage. Do you know what I mean? So that has cast a kind of a shadow on this half of the season. The fact that we've lost twice, we lost at Christmas and we lost again the other week, and we're still going to be winning the league in a double points deficit on our rivals. We're still going to lift the treble this year. I'm convinced of it. Do you know what I mean? So, nobody will be looking back on this part of the season really as a failure. Everybody will be, eventually when we all stand back, we'll be going, "Do you know what? That was a brilliant effort. We actually have quite a small squad in terms of quality. We don't have that many
Yep.
real
Yep.
top-notch players. So if you have a player like Ida who's sitting on the top-notch player's back, keeping him and fucking, looking over his shoulder and coming on and contributing, like Adam Ida's in the double figures for this year, and he hasn't started that many games, so he has come on and he has made an impact on the season. It might not be the impact that you expected or anybody expected because we paid 9 million for him.
I
But that's
think
not
I think it's not
that's
the
not the issue.
impact he expected either, Marty.
But and this is it, and like Rogers is always very honest with the players, and he says you're not guaranteed your place. Simple as that. You're coming in and you're fighting for your place like everybody fucking else. And like I mean, I said it here a few weeks ago. If you get the reputation as an early riser, you can sleep all day. So you have players like Hatate who've been out of form who've kept their place because they're regarded as skillful players, or they can pull out that wee bit of magic for you at some stage that might win you a game or something, or put the cherry on top of a game or something, or look, whatever. And that's all part of football. That's all part of the whole program, the whole system of a team. And we need a squad. We need a better squad. And again, we've said this before. This is the first time in Celtic's history where we actually have the resources that we need to put a proper squad in place. Going back to the Lions and all, like even the Lisbon Lions, we were so lucky with a lot of the things that happened with those guys that just happened to bring that team together. And Rogers is all about planning, and like you just been saying about like overtraining or whatever the case may be, and that may be true, but at least you can't fault them for doing it. You know, you can't fault them for having ambition. You can't fault them for wanting to put the best team possible out on the park. You can't fault them for wanting a proper fucking pitch to play on that doesn't, you know, no touching a sore spot here, but you know, it doesn't turn into a quagmire at the start of January. Do you know what I mean? It's stuff like that, you know, or the fans. You know, there's no like, why shouldn't our fans have the best of everything?
100%, Marty. We started off this show talking about they're charging us fucking. It's the same as Jason, Andy. You'll experience this, especially you, Jason. Fuck me. But you get to Parkhead, and if you end up in one of the lounges, or if you end up in the sports bar, you're paying $6 for a Guinness.
6:30.
Right, well, 6:30, right? So I'm 6:30, and you're kind of going 6:30 for a Guinness. That's what. And some fucking tool will say to you, tune prices. And the first thing in my head is, I'm not in the fucking tune. I'm not paying the tune prices, you know what I mean? Cock knows. So Celtic are charging us EPL prices for tickets. They're charging us fucking tune prices for fucking a pint. They're charging us for everything. The price of jersey is fucking obscene, and we still buy them. So it's time. It's time that Celtic. Last summer, I sat with the Homebhoys, and I looked at them, and we're all sitting talking about this Champions League and what this Champions League new format could mean for us. This is before the draw, and I says Celtic need to grow up. They need to grow up, man. And see all you wankers who think spending 11 million and 9 million on players and no playing them is fucking wanker. Is wrong. You're all wankers. Because no, I'm serious, Marty. I'm serious. Because see FITBA now. FITBA isn't fucking 11 guys on the pitch. It's fucking 18 guys. And see if Adamida costs us 9 million and he's no ready the noob, but he does me well in 2 years' time, then that's a great fucking business deal. We need to fucking grow. God bless Brendan Rodgers for getting stuff in the gang. Sorry, when you go.
No, Marty, I completely and 100% agree with what you said there. It's about guys getting competition for places, right? And I'm sorry if I overly concerted that I'm not a fan of Adam. It's not to do with his price tag.
No fan. It's not
no. It's not about his price tag. It's the way he plays, right? So Marty,
hold on. Just before you go any further, you don't fucking need to apologise to me. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Fair enough, mate.
Bro,
so I've got to tell my thought on what you said there, right? Was that you get people on the sidelines who are getting competition, right? See, for me, the way that the club should be evolving, right? And I've said this for a number of years, right? Is that every single Scott, you manage a football club, right? You know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what level you're at. See, every single manager of any football club at any level, right? Mate, they've got their cup final team in their head. They've always got their best 11 in their head, and sometimes they need to rotate them and blah blah blah. But if it comes to a cup final, there's your 11. If they're fit, they're playing right, and that's at any level of football. For me, I don't think in the last 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years that Celtic have had the go-to guys on the bench. I always believed that when we played in the Champions League, when we made the changes, I always felt that before this season, to be fair, it significantly reduced our performance because the guys that were coming on, they just weren't good enough. So what I'm going to suggest here is that we don't need 11 good players, right, anymore. As Scotty just said there, we need 18. And what I'm going to ask you back here, Marty, was that Adamida challenging for a place in the league, it doesn't seem to have manifested just as yet because he's not getting a start, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering whether or no, and I'm sorry for being controversial, right? I'm wondering whether or not is Adamida good enough to be a Celtic sub? And that sounds harsh, right? Because I think the Celtic sub should be as good as the starting player.
But my
And
point,
and maybe it's just my opinion. I don't think
but
he
my
is.
point,
Well, Andy's
hold
proved
on,
it.
hold on. My point was he's already in the double figures for the season, coming off the bench and playing
Yeah.
early. So yes, he is, because he's already
Okay.
made a brilliant contribution, and this is one of the first years. I think it's 7 players. So Rogers plays a different system. So we grew up with the Celtic way. The two strikers, 4-4-2, you had your two
Yeah.
strikers, and you generally out of the two strikers, you had a main striker who won you all the games. That's not how Rogers plays his fucking sport. And this is the first time in history that we've had 7 players at this time of the season, all in double figures. And it's
I
a
think it's
far,
10, mate.
far
I think it's 10.
well, there you go. Right, multiple players are in double figures for the season, which is a far fucking healthier system of football, because
Yeah.
if one of your
Yeah.
fucking key players is out, you're fucked if you play it the old way. You know, if your key, like when Larson broke his fucking leg, you know, we still had Viduka and it fucked the whole season. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And you're like, you had Viduka. How the fuck did we not win the league with Viduka in the team? Well, we didn't, because the team didn't fucking play well enough to do it. Simple as that. And an over reliance on one player is sometimes amazing, and they're
See,
wonderful
going
and they make
back
a
to
great
that, Marty,
contribution.
I
But
don't know if this is true, right? I'm just going to interject with you there, right? Just a wee hang, right? See, going back to that, I don't know if this is true, but this is just in my mind. See, that way you think you know something, but you don't actually know. You just say it a number of times and you don't know if it's true. See, you go back to John Barnes' team then, right? See when Larson got injured, the whole thing fucking fucked up, right? So,
Mhm.
so I at the point where you go, oh, John Barnes is terrible, blah, 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 I sometimes take myself back and I wonder whether or no he set up a team that was so reliant on a certain system, right?
Mhm.
That when one of the key fucking elements of that system drops out, the whole team sort of falls, right? Because
Yeah, but
then I take myself over to
that's my
Brendan
point.
Rodgers' team, right?
That's my point.
I go,
Rogers has what you would say, like he has insulated us from that. You know, if one player goes down, there's other players there who can all weigh in. Like we've just been waxing lyrical at the start of the show about Callum McGregor and the amount of goals he weighs. And with you, your midfield's getting involved, your strikers are scoring. He plays 3 up front, so you have the 3 chances in any game of one guy getting a
yeah,
goal, because they're all
yeah,
a kind of, and you can argue. I have no problem with you arguing the merits of Kuhn or fucking Johnson or anybody or Jota. You know what I mean? But broadly this season, like our goal tally's through the roof. Our
yeah.
goal difference is fucking ridiculous. I don't remember
But
a goal difference ever being as high ever, right? But to go back just on that kind of like key guy, the good comparison with Ada, believe it or not, is Chris Sutton. Because Chris Sutton never scored us dozens and dozens of fucking goals a season. But fuck me, everybody who looks back will go, what a fucking player. He played in a different type of a system. He played up
he
for,
was my favourite.
yeah.
See, even when he was playing, do you know? I
But
always
very
say this.
very similar to Ida, good with his feet, tall guy, but we played a different system then, whereby Larson was your pivot, but Sutton was there to feed him, take the
Aye.
bumps for him, you know, take the hits from defenders and let Larson play. We
I,
don't
di-
play that way anymore.
I disagree, Marty. I
Well,
disagree.
fair enough.
No,
I
the
think
reason I
I think
disagree.
Chris Sutton was a top quality
He
player.
was,
No,
but
no,
see,
I'm
that's my
not
point. My
disagreeing with
point.
that.
Hold on.
He a mile away from that.
But that's not my point. Of course he was. Chris Sutton was
But
unfucking real.
Ida could play that role if he'd a Kyogo next to
Right.
him, two of them playing up front.
No,
But
no, no, but
but hold
there's
on.
when right, okay.
But hold on, right? I haven't spoken so much tonight. I'm letting you guys blather on. But on this, I think I'm onto something, because Sutton was shunted out of the fucking forward line all the time. He was playing in midfield against Blackburn. He was put into a fucking in the
I
defence
hated
against the
John
Huns at
Hartson
Ibrox,
for that when we signed
and he
Hartson.
was head and shoulders above John Harton as a player, as far as I'm concerned, right? But nobody ever looks back and goes, "No, it's Chris Sutton, fucking blah blah blah." Everybody kind of looks back and goes, "Absolute legend," but he did not have a hyperactive scoring record. He did other things. He was good. He was good. You know, brilliant on the
One
ball.
play
Brilliant.
the match, defence, midfield, and attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hence why I disagree with you. Because as it sits in now, Adam Ida is not doing that job. Adam Ida, Andy brought up, because Adam Ida's size, people are expecting him to lead the line. This big boy has never led the line in terms of being that solo striker at any point in his career. Right? So people need to get that fucking out of their heads. Andy's already says, Jason's already says, when has Adam Ida done the best for us? when he's finishing the ball. He's a finisher, right? So we've signed this boy £9 million. Andy reckons he's rotten. The rest of his reckon he's decent. Doesn't matter.
Here, there was plenty of fucking fans when Chris Sutton saying thought he was shit.
Marty, I'm not finished. Just as you. Adam Eder has got to be moulded into what we want him to be. Honest to fuck. Because I've watched this big boy run for the fucking where exactly he should be, drop into midfield, and he fucking runs it and he busts his hole for the team. So work rate's no a problem. And I know he can finish. But as you just said there, we need more. We need more for your fucking... So, see where the height he's got? He should be holding the ball better. He should be winning more. Did you see that game against the Huns recently, right? Ironically, see when I do our season review, it's going to be up there. See we fucking Maida's goal against the Huns in the 3-2 defeat at Parkhead. That's up there as one of my greatest fucking goals of the season. I was just, do you know what I mean? I'm like, look at fucking that. I'm saying Adam, Maida should never be winning that header, and he's up winning it. See, there's where Adam Eder needs to fucking grow, needs to be better, needs to fucking... So Adam Eder's got hundreds to go. I don't think he's rotten, Andy, but I don't think we should ever be kind of equating him to Chris Sutton at this point, Marty. That's ultimately my point.
But my point is, see when Chris Sutton fucking signed, Chris Sutton was coming off a bad season at Chelsea.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't want him fucking signed.
You're 100%.
See, even that season, his first season, he did not have a great season. In fact, Tommy Johnson ended up in the fucking side more than him because he was out injured and suspended and all fucking sorts of stuff. So nobody should be writing. So nobody should be writing.
The goalkeeper against Kamala,
do you remember? Right. So that's my point. And then we saw. I mean, if you take it even at the last half of that year, in the Champions League, he was fucking outstanding. And then his fucking his reward was he got fucking shunted around the team for John Hodgson.
I had a tenner on him one day. We played the Huns to beat Sutton in 1-0. Mind they chipped the keeper near the end.
Yeah.
Oh, demolition derby.
Oh, fucking...
The white
But by the way, right, all good points he's made there, but I need to go back to Andy. Andy,
you fucking Andy.
Andy,
no. Yes.
Were you actually trying to fucking breach the conversation that John Barnes was a bit hard done to and he was a decent manager?
Oh, fuck off, man. Fuck off, man. No. What I said was, if you look at his record...
It's up there with the Raphael shape part.
Fuck off, Jason, man. No. What I said was that, see when you look at the start of that season until Larsson got injured, like, the Celtic team were actually doing all right, man. He played some sort of fucking mad system like 4-2-2-2-2 or something. I don't know. I just couldn't work it out. But actually, up until that point, I think, mate, I'm not even going to say what I think because it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure Celtic were close to being top of the league. I don't know. Is it no right? I don't know, Jason. You could check out. See when Larsson got injured against Leon. I was at that game actually.
I was at the game,
I thought we were like fucking top of the league or something. No, is that a fucking false memory I've made?
I went in the Lockheed #1 bus, so it was a fucking the full trip.
I went in a bus and all, it was fucking horrendous, man. Two boys get stopped shoplifting fucking at duty free, and we get the bus get held back for 12 hours. It was fucking awesome,
I'm with all these Dundee punters, right?
No, it wasn't me.
I'm with all these Dundee punters and boozers, right? And they're all going, "Twah, yeah, fucking we're eating 3 beers." I've said only asked for 12.
Brilliant. No, I didn't say John Barnes was good. What I said was that I think that the way that he played was all about a single player, and Larsson dropped out of that team, which meant that the team fucked up. And I think there was a reference made earlier on about a single Celtic player. So sorry, no, I didn't mean. I don't know. Who knows what the hand of John Barnes if Larsson never got injured? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Well, at the end of the day, fucking Martin O'Neill won a watch when he had fucking Henry Larsson's team, you know.
No, but see on the thing with John Barnes, right? I honestly don't think for a second I'm thinking he was a great manager, right?
Henry Larsson.
But so did Paul Lambert. So did Paul Lambert. With Henry Larsson got injured against Leon
on the 21st of October.
Right, but when did Paul Lambert get injured at Ibrox? I think at the end of November or something like that.
Henry Larsson got injured again. We knew Henry Larsson got injured in October, and we were already 7 points behind the Huns.
How many games in Holland do we have?
None.
9. 11 games in.
See, I was wondering if Google told you that, Scotty boy.
No, mate, I'm fucking just.
By the way, Andy,
fucking rhyme, but you're right.
Andy, when did you find out the extent of Larsson's injury? Because we found out in the boat.
No, I think it was the boat. I know, Jason. I'm not sure. Right. But see, what year was that? That was what year was that?
1999.
9.
Yeah, 1999.
See, to be honest with you, right? See, at that point, right, in my mind, obviously, I don't know if you. Again, that thing. Maybe I'm showing my character there. We were with my characterisation, I couldn't, right? But see, when Larsson came in, right, and because he's slow start and stuff like that, I don't know whether or not I had a mental block. I don't like this cunt, right? but see for me.
Ready for the fucking knockout.
No, I know. He's a genius. See, for me at that point, Paul Lambert was my favourite player by a million miles, man. A million miles. So I thought his injury. What's that?
Rightly so. Paul Lambert.
I thought his injury when John Barnes was there was more significant.
No, fuck off.
In hindsight, it wasn't. No. But I get your point at the time.
I understand your point. I think it's a pile of shit, but I understand.
No, because when Larsson broke his leg, he was a legend. You know,
in 1999? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a legend in 1999.
99.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I can guarantee all you. No, he wasn't. He signed in 1998, won the league, right, and scored that goal against St Johnstone last game of the season, right?
And it was only
scored another 100 goals.
Here's my story.
He would only become a legend. He wasn't a fucking legend when he got the leg break.
Andy, here's my story.
No, he wasn't, mate.
Andy, you're off your fucking nut.
You're a fucking ass nut.
Fucked up your pair of dicks, man.
Andy, you need to come on here more often, son. This is
definitely. Andy, here's the thing, right?
This is the sort of rouse I love.
Andy Cameron.
So you're telling me, hang on a second, Scotty, I'm just going to formalise this in my mind, right?
I'm muted the pair of you, a pair of dicks. I'm in control. Okay.
Did you mute me?
Did
you mute me?
Nah, no, you did a fuck.
Yeah.
I've just unmuted myself. Andy's not got the brains to unmute himself.
Right.
So listen.
No, I'm going to tell you the new Jason.
Telling me 1999 Henrik Larsson
Jason, right? The two you guys, Andy Cameron, Jason Higgins, were coming home, or you were at the game and the two yous were coming home, right? And I'm going to challenge the rest of the people who are listening, the people who are commenting. We were all watching on the telly and we all saw the King's leg fucking hanging in two, held by a fucking soak. And not one is. Martin Kearney, Jerry Kearney, myself, Marty, you know all three is, and we all fucking talk like fuck. None of you said a word for the rest of the game. Just sat. We were fucking devastated. And to say that the King wasn't fucking where he was at that point, I'm going to unmute him because he fucking doesn't know how to do it.
Say right. Jason, let me put context on myself. No, you know, let me put context on it. So Henry Larsson signed for Celtic at the start in 1998, 97-98 season, right? He scored he obviously played that season. He scored the winner in the league championship game against St Johnstone that season, right? So that was one season he played, right? That leg break was 3 months later. There's no chance any of you can say to me that Henrik Larsson is a legend in October 1999. Don't talk fucking nonsense, man.
Andy, stop. I am telling you for a fact, I've just said it to the boys the other now. When Henry Larsson broke his leg against Leon, the room went silent.
Because it was such a bad injury.
No.
No.
Because it was him. Fuck up, Andy, right? I know you're saying he wasn't the legend that he is right now, but my God.
He'd been there for fucking 14 months.
Yes!
And he was unbelievable.
Magic.
And he was
He's peace, man. He's peace. He's peace. He wasn't a legend. At that point, Henry Larsson wasn't a legend at Celtic. No chance, man.
Andy, you're missing a year.
Am I?
You're missing because he won Players Player of the fucking year the year before. And the year before that was when we stopped at 10. He was there for over 2 years before that.
So 98 was when he stopped at 10, right?
Correct. He joined in 97.
Henry Larsson signed for Celtic 97.
Joe Venglos. Joe Venglos the next season, wasn't he?
You've lost a year.
So, Andy, do you want to just dip off and now? Just want to...
Aye, fuck it, man. So as I was saying, Henry Larsson, that fucking legend with his leg broke. See that night?
Listen to me. Henry Larsson signed for Celtic. His first season he played 46 games. He scored 19 goals. And his
Not impressive.
Fuck up. In his second season, he played 48 games. He scored 38 fucking goals. Right?
So was around 57 for about 100.
Before he broke his leg, he'd played 12 games and scored 10 goals.
Mate, I thought the leg break was the second season. I thought the leg break was the second season. So if you take it in that context, I was right, wasn't I?
No harm to you, right? That's fucked up. Your whole appearance.
I made a cunt,
appearance on this pod's fucked.
I made a cunt, So everything I said before.
Andy, this is how fucking bad it was, right? Because Larson won Players Player of the fucking year in the year we didn't win the league, and Celtic brought out a fucking video. Larson, the Players Player. That's how bad it was. Just for clarity,
he was a fucking legend, wasn't he? He was a legend at that point. So I'm sorry, I take it back. I'm sorry. No, do you know what? Sometimes you get it wrong, don't you?
Andy, I've been in your possession about 45 times. Honestly, it's been a long.
What about Henry Larsson? He was alright, wasn't he? Fuck it, man. I genuinely thought I was his second season of leg break. So, give me something, guys. Right, give me something back. Right, do you think if it was the second season, right, when he scored 13 goals and 40 goals, he wouldn't have been a legend, would he? To be fair.
And if you never said that, you wouldn't be an arse.
No, I'm an arse enemy, mate. You know that. I'm arms it.
Andy, don't worry about it. J-Bo's said some bellers and all. Well. Anyway, what we on to now, boys?
I was talking about semi-final, mate.
You had a list. You had a list, but it was fucked out.
What's that?
You had a list.
Aye, the list got to fucking... So we started that with the morning.
Right, we're starting off at... Well, now we'll finish off at tomorrow.
Tomorrow...
I expect a strident 4-0 win. Fuck Jim Goodman.
Somebody said to me that every time the Brendan Rodgers is going to win the league, we'll win 5-0.
Well, 5, great, but I'm expecting 4. You see Jim Goodman on his wheel out at the match order?
By the way, I love how much that annoys everybody.
Yeah, the fucking can't play for Celtic. What the fuck?
No. Did you see? What's the name of it? The cunt that plays up front for the Hearts.
Shanklin.
You see Shanklin at Ibrox, and all the Hearts fans are all going, "Look at this dick," and you're kind of going, "It's kind of well known. He's a
hum. Where'd you expect him to go?"
By the way, next week we're going to have Jim Hard on the show.
Right.
Just to let you know.
Scotty, for me, the more it's a wee bit poignant for me. The more I don't remember. I think we won the league at Tannadice. a few times, but the ones I remember is the last one we won it when Dan Venegal Hesselink scored, and it was, I think it was the week that Tommy Burns died, but
Yeah, it was right.
tomorrow's
Yeah.
obviously the Pope, it's the Pope's funeral tomorrow, isn't it? And it's touching for a number of people, and it's the same sort of venue, and I think it's probably a venue that will maybe strike a wee emotional chord with a lot of people, you know what I mean? So I hope we fucking go out tomorrow and put on the proper performance that's required.
Same Tommy.
I don't see why we wouldn't. I really don't see why we. I mean, last time under Ange, we done it. See the one you're talking about, Andy. Remember that one? It was a Thursday night we won the league. Remember? Remember the league never get extended because the league always finished on a Thursday night, as I knew. And I mean, I just don't know what you're talking about. But so, and then we won it under Ange, and the one each draw, and we
won it at Tannadice.
We won it Tannadice, right? We won it under Ange. Remember Levitt?
I wonder if we win it more there than the last fucking 20 years or whatever than anybody else. We don't tend to win the Celtic Park, do we?
Rugby Park and Tannadice.
Rugby Park's only twice. This will be the third time, Jason, I think. So Tannadice.
We won it at Tannadice in the 80s.
What one was that, Jason?
Tommy Burns in there. Remember?
Did we? Aye.
Aye. We won it in Tannadice.
Remember,
that's right.
Aye.
Right.
What are you saying, old man? Old man.
So that 4 times then since, well, I'm saying the 80s, the last 20 years. Fucking hell, that's 40 odd years.
It's probably more than anybody else, to be fair.
Fucking hell. But aye. I've got bad memories Easter Road because obviously we had the chance to win it up there and we get fucking beat 2-1. We scored near the end. They were 2-0 up. That was the main stand.
What was that? What year would that have been, Jason?
That was about maybe 6-7 years ago.
What?
Are they?
Aye. We had the chance to win at Easter Road once. They went, I think they were 2-0 up. And then they scored the goal near the end.
No.
Aye, maybe 6-7 years ago. It was during the 10. It was during the 10. During the 9.
I remember Easter Road, we drew 0-0, and then they overtook us, and then we drew against Hearts. But I don't remember.
There was an Easter Road one. It was obviously similar to this one, the Mora. It was like we were going to win it anyway. It wasn't like fucking pressure. It was like fucking, we just need to go up here and win the league. And I gave Ellie my seat. Ellie went into the Celtic end, and I got a seat in the main stand, so I was sitting.
Why are we talking negative things? Fuck us, man. Let's talk about it.
Anyway, I've been every Tannadice one. So
brilliant, man. So, Marty boy,
you going tomorrow, Jason?
Aye. Our bus leaving at 8 o'clock.
Brilliant.
You going, Andy?
No, mate, I'm going to share something.
He's going to some other dope-head place.
No. I've been to 2 away games since this point, and both at Ibrox because people gave me a ticket. The last Ibrox game, coincidentally, was the last one that when Edward scored the winner, we lost the allocation of tickets, right? But away games, I'm going to share something that I'm a wee bit ashamed of, right? So see I used to go away games since I was a kid, like fucking all the way through, and tickets for all the games and all that stuff. See after the 2003 Europa League whatever it's called, right? UEFA Cup. The final, right? We played at Rugby Park, as you know, on the Sunday, right?
Yep.
And obviously we lost the league in fucking goal difference, right? But see on the way up the road in the bus, I was fucking bluttered, right? And fucking it's one of the ones where the old double deckers used to get, and the window at the back opened. I remember fucking I was coming to the road. They'd won the league, and there was one of the bus. I threw a boat out at the back of the bus, and it landed on the motorway, right? Nothing happened, nothing bad happened, right? And nothing happened. I woke up the next morning and I thought to myself, what the fuck are you doing, man? I was so ashamed of myself because it could have happened. I mean, nothing happened, nothing at all happened, right? And I never went to a away game after. I said to myself, I can't control myself.
You don't go
but I ended up being involved in it. I was 2003, but I ended up being the manager of the Budgie after it, and the manager of the Rock after that. And all. I just kept going to the games and being that sort of arsehole. But no, seriously, I was ashamed of myself. The next morning I woke up and I thought, it's because it seemed like everybody's baying and everybody's all baying, oh, yeah, everyone's bastards and all that, and the wind he's doing. There's a boat on a through just at the motorway. Nothing happened, right? But I woke up the next morning, I thought to myself, fucking hell, man. That's not the person you want to be. So, mate, I hadn't been in a away game since then, apart from the 2 Ibrox games because I got a ticket. And you know what? I don't. Now I think to myself, Jason, I don't deserve a away ticket because there's guys going every week, so I'm never going to get one anyway.
Right.
Was that oversharing there about me being a hooligan?
No. I've got. Well, we talk after this, and you can maybe go tomorrow.
Aye.
There you go.
Do any of you think, see that stuff that was in the fucking Daily Mirror, whatever the thing was about being a tedious treble?
What a load of balls. Here's the thing, right, Andy, listen. So, when the Huns were fucking stealing everything all round them, and we were like 25 points behind the fuckheads in the 90s when they won their fucking treble, did anybody go, oh, this is fucking tedious?
I don't think so.
Did that fuck? They were lording it over us. That's exactly what they were doing. So, fuck their tedium and mon the fucking hoops. This is a great treble. 9 trebles, 9 times we'll have done this, and my lifetime I'll have seen 8 of them. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
No,
okay.
7 of them. There's 2 trebles in the 67 and 69.
Was
Right?
the 169 as well?
Well,
Are you sure?
67 we won everything, and 69 we won the treble, I'm sure. And then we didn't do it again until O'Neill. So I've seen
2001.
so I've seen 7 fucking trebles in my lifetime. What the fuck? I've seen 4 trebles in a row. Like that's
Mhm.
fuck. Who the fuck? Only an orange bastard would say that's tedious.
But
Any Celtic fan would be cock a hoop.
see all this stuff that they know in the fucking mainstream media, right? See all this stuff about every single time they mention Celtic, they need to relate to the Rangers, right? See where I'm getting my own headspace, right, is they're sort of a... See if there's any other country in the world that there was a media that fucking reported accurately, right? They're an event now, so why is it always that when they report on us, they say something about them, or they report on us, they say something about them? Do you know what I mean? It's fucking start doing my nut a wee bit.
But this is the thing. During the COVID season, nobody was saying, "Oh, isn't this terrible? Isn't this tedious? This Rangers
I
team are
know.
going to win the league and everything. It's terrible. Oh, it's so
I know.
tedious." Get that fuck. Again, they were
I know.
lording it over us. So, like every time Celtic win a match, I take a holiday in my heart. See to win trophies. Like Brett Rogers sitting the other day. I say this guy earlier on. I always watch the press conferences on Friday. It was
Yep.
the most boring, tedious press conference you've ever seen. They had nothing to get at him about. He was just shrugging his shoulders, going, so "This is where we should be this time of the season." Blah blah blah. But the one bit of that was of interest actually was somebody tried to compare him to Jack Stein. Well, they didn't directly compare him to Jack Stein, but they basically said, "You're going to be the winningest manager in Celtic's history." And how do
The
you feel
what,
about that?
sorry?
And he went, "Listen," he says, "I have a
Winningest.
fucking." So he's won the more trophies as a manager than any other Celtic manager.
Is that
And
right? Aye.
he turned around and he says, "Listen, me," he says, "really, I tell you something." He says, "I have a long way to go." He says, "I've worked everywhere." He says, "But
Short time to get there.
I have a long way to go before I'm anywhere near Jack Stein or Willie Mealy." He
Aye.
said he named the
Good on
two
him.
of them. And
Well, do you know what then?
He says,
Fair
don't
play
be
to him.
giving me that fucking shit.
Marty, Famaliki Ao won.
Oh, what was the
Naga
score?
won.
One each. Fuck me. We should have. Talk about tedious matches. A 1 each draw. Fuck hell. The chat, the
Andy,
homeboys
right.
chat, the homeboys chat must be alive with fucking with
Must
activity.
be alive with Famaliki Ao chat. Andy, right.
Yes.
Fucking. So there's some guy for a university chatting to me on Tuesday.
Right.
And he wants to talk about Celtic and their dominance in football, right? And in my opinion, total dominance for one entity of anything is wrong.
I agree. Yep.
Totally wrong. It nullifies so many healthy debate. It nullifies healthy fucking. It ends up building fucking enemies, and it's no good. However, it's my team, and my team have done it in a healthy, prospective way. We've never stole for anybody. I mean, like there's a mad thing now. People, all these other clubs are telling us, well, you stole for us. See, to be honest, we all had a vote in 1980. We used to split all the fucking stuff, and you cunts voted, and that's what made Aberdeen and Dundee United so wealthy in the 80s. And
What sort of split was that? What was the split, Scotty?
So basically, before the 80s, everybody split the. Jason, where are you? Remember we spoke with you still there? Remember we spoke with us. So what was it? Before the 80s, we used to split the what they called the turnstiles. What's that?
Aye. So
gate.
basically,
The gate. There's it.
basically,
There's it. Right.
all the gate receipts are split 50-50.
So before the 80s, Andy, all
Right.
the gates were all split between the two.
Home and away?
Home and away.
Yep.
Fuck, right, okay.
So a team came to Celtic Park and it was 60,000, and we would go to Falkirk and it was 12,000.
Not a Scotty. And these, there was never 60,000 at Celtic Park. Even when it was full.
No.
Even when it was full. Even when it was
I
full
know.
and busted the guts, it was 40,000.
But this is the point.
24.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
So in the 70s, we all kind of split. 80s, Hearts, Celtic, Rangers, Dundee United, Aberdeen all wanted to keep you in. So
Yeah.
we had a vote, and all these clubs all decided we're keeping it in.
Oh, bad move, man.
As you rightly said there, Celtic weren't getting fucking 60,000 and Aberdeen getting 10,000. Aberdeen were getting 25,000, we were getting 30,000. So it was a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen kicked on, Dundee United kicked on, Celtic kicked on, Hearts kicked on, Rangers kicked on.
Yep.
And then as it go down the line, us and the Hundos went and fucking sorted the stadium. So they kicked on more than every other cunt because they had this fucking super stadium.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? And then we obviously got fucking clued up and we sorted our stadium. And then we started winning. And what happened when we started winning? The fucking TV turned up and the TV started paying you for fucking not for winning. So everything that's happened in Scottish football, whilst it might be frustrating, it might be annoying, it's all voted. It's all voted.
Yeah, I know.
I mean? So it's. I don't think somebody winning, but I just don't ever believe. Right, so we went toe to toe with Bayern Munich this season. It was great for us, wasn't it? It was brilliant. It was heartbreaking, but so much pride watching your team. We could have done something. And then we went a couple of weeks later and we get beat after the Huns.
Yeah.
And the argument after the Huns was, we've not got enough fight in our team. Whereas
Scott, can I ask a question of you? Scott, can I ask, sorry for interrupting, right? Just tell me shut if you want, right? Can I ask you and the other two guys a wee quick question, right? Because there's a sense in my mind that I think something that my thoughts shouldn't have been my thoughts, right? See this season, right? See Aberdeen started the season so well. Did you guys want them to keep winning?
Yeah,
I did.
100%.
I did as well. And I don't know what was in me. I thought, fucking hell, on you go. And you actually wanted them to win. And it was not to do with Celtic, it was not to do with anything else. I don't actually believe that it was something to do with Rangers either, that we're going to finish second ahead of Rangers.
Me was totally about Rangers.
Yeah, mine was
Was
totally against Rangers as well.
Was it? No, mine wasn't. Mine was more about that thing about sport, about somebody just fucking cropping up from nowhere. And
No, but Andy, let's cut the bullshit, right? Let's cut the bullshit. See if we had a proper league and we had four teams in it, right?
Yep.
Be it Hearts, Hibs, whoever. And imagine Celtic don't win the league this year, right? But the league doesn't go to the Huns. You'd be a lot more calmer person.
Yeah.
That's ultimately the point. The fact is, there's no other situation for any other team in this world that, see if you don't win, generally, your opposition's going to, your greatest rival's going to take it.
Aye, it's
The
one
Scottish,
of those.
I've always had in my mind, see since like Aberdeen and Dundee United in the 80s, right? I've always had this thing in my mind, right? And again, you guys can chop me down if you want, because sometimes, as you probably realise, right, I go off a wee tangent, and sometimes I go off a wee tangent, it's great, right? But here's my thoughts on something, right? See if I was somebody with money, right, who wanted to invest in football, right? I would go to a Dundee United or a Hearts or a Hibs or an Aberdeen, right? And what I would say is, you don't actually need to be better than Celtic Rangers, right? What you need to be is, you need to be fundamentally better than all the fucking rest of them, right? You need to make sure that you beat all the rest of them. And see when it comes against they two, that'll take care of itself. But there's not a single club in Scotland ever done that in the last 20 years, right? So think about Aberdeen this season, right?
Hearts close to done it.
Hearts with Burley were different class.
Yeah.
They were brilliant. But then they sacked Burley, didn't they?
By the way, if you guys have never had the opportunity, there's a BBC show about what's his name, Romanov, the podcast. It's well worth a listen. Well worth a listen.
Well, what I tell you now, Andy, I totally agree with you, right? And what I would say now is, you're David Gray with Hibs.
Yep.
Fucking, I'll tell you one thing. If he did that,
is he signed a new 3-year deal, Jason?
Yep, signed it today.
Brilliant.
And I'll tell you what, we need strong challenges, and we need. But
Definitely.
See what you said, Andy. We've spoke about this, and I'm a total advocate of this. See if Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, Dundee United, Dundee's a big club as well, but they're as big as Dundee United. Like, if they were good,
so they're Fairmont.
Falkirk,
yep. Absolutely right.
Morton's got a big support. You
yep.
know, but see if you get investment, right? Clever investment that they've done it the right way. Look at Brighton, Hove Albion, stuff like that. Look at Bournemouth. Fucking hell. I know they fucking nothing that now competing at the top of English football. It's fucking mental, right? And if you get that investment and you get the right people involved, and the key is get a top manager. You need a top manager. And I don't care what anybody says, you've the best players in the world, but see if your manager's a fucking dick, they're not going to the end.
Yep.
But if you get a top
manager. Aberdeen boy's good, Jason.
I think he's good, but I think David Gray's fucking class.
Yeah.
Honest to God. And fair play to Hibs for keeping by him. But see if Hibs can keep that. Do you know what would be amazing for them? See if they made it a 16-team league that we only played each other twice. They've only got to face Celtic 2 times. Fucking beat us at home, and then fucking the other one's a free ride. We play at Celtic Park.
The thing about that,
beat the rest of the team.
The thing about that, Jason, is it's never going to happen currently. It's not going to happen currently because the people on top of us, the people who run their league, they always, as Marty always says, they always want that 4. They want that 4 fun game. You know what I mean?
It's a cash cow.
Yeah, it's definitely. You're right what you're saying. But to go back to Andy's point, it comes down, right? And I've said this to a Dundee United fan, I've said it to Hibs fans, I've said it to Hearts fans. See if my team lose the league to Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, so I can handle it. Losing league to them is fucking chronic because you're giving them one in their pocket. And because they started all this counting title bollocks, nonsense. Football's played about here now. See, I hate fucking, we're 52. Who gives a fuck, man? I'm so fucking 10 of them, alright? Fuck up. Who's winning the league now? Am I the champion? Go fuck yourself. That's what I care about. Fucking
Scotty, can I share something with you, right? You'll laugh at this, right? And it's just stupid, right? So what you said there was you don't count leagues, right? So I'm going to take you back when you were the St Mary's manager and I was the manager of Blockhair and Star. I'm sorry for you guys who don't know who that is, right? But it's Saturday morning football.
Saturday morning fucking
the league we're in's been now gone for 60 years, right? And our Blockhair and Star team won the Premier League 6 times, right? Mm-hmm. But that's actually the most any team's ever won that league, right? And I swear to God, Scotty, right? Every single season I check to see who won it, to see if we're still there. So see that thing about you don't check league titles, no? I don't know if I'm wearing that, mate.
So it's fucking Alan McCoy still got on the channel, no Andy, is it? It's
No,
a proper
no.
Andy Cartman. You comedian
done.
fuck, get
No.
yourself.
I just mean in circumstances. There is definitely circumstances because I can only say what I do. I definitely
Andy,
look
the
at that and
fact
go,
of
ah,
the
the budget.
matter
I
is,
go, the budget's the best. The budget's the best ever. Know what I mean? So I don't know
Andy,
whether or no.
before the job he started growing about 55 now, did you
Yeah,
know how many leagues Celtic had won?
nature. No idea. I was actually looking because I turned 55 this year, right in February. I was
You
wondering how
done it
many.
before Celtic. Well done.
I'd done it before, Celtic. But I was actually wondering how many titles Celtic have won in my lifetime, right? And it's all used fucking Marty, fucking Jason, I don't know. When we were
I've
in
no
the 70s,
clue.
I don't know how old you are, right? But the
I'm
70s we were pretty
53.
good, right? What?
I'm 53, but I've no clue how
So we're the
many
same
won.
age, right? But what I'm saying is in the 70s we were
Oh,
pretty
you're
good, right?
older.
You don't remember the 70s, right? You just knew Celtic were good. In the 80s, Scottish football was good, right? So it was shared about.
And
We got
by
to
the
the
way,
end of the 80s.
the 80s, sorry to butt in, Andy, right? But the 80s were the golden era of Scottish football. And
Without
do
a
you know
doubt.
what? And the thing is, Celtic were still prevalent. The Rotten Mob were absolutely fucking useless, but it was us, Dundee United and Aberdeen. And
Well, Jason, sorry.
I actually think they always say it was a decade of Aberdeen and whatever. I think we won more trophies than the two of them.
We probably did, but in Europe, I don't know if we did, to be fair. I don't know. But what I
I think
remember is
you're right about
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I'll ask you, I'm sorry for fucking changing subjects all the time, Scotty. You'll know that I do this, right? But I was talking to somebody just about 2 days ago, and they're talking about, actually, we're in Amsterdam for wee Harry's football tournament, right? And we're wondering whether or not we're going to get to see the game, the semi-final. But we end up getting on our phone, we cashed on our TV. So we're seeing the game, right? But I was saying before, we'll just listen to the radio. And somebody said to me, when's the last time you listened to a fucking radio? And I couldn't actually remember, right? There's obviously times I'm fucking listening again on the radio, but I remember a time that stands out for me, and it was the 1980 quarter final, the European Cup. Celtic had won 2-0, but I was there, I was 10 years old, I was there, and you know the score on that. We won 2-0, right? But we went to Madrid and we lost 3-0. And I remember in my house, I stayed in Corinne, believe it or not. I remember in a house with a big fucking long Celtic scarf. I know, listening to the game, right? Listening to the game on the radio, and it was the best thing available at that point. And I remember thinking to myself, this. I remember. I don't think I was ever sitting as a fucking 10-year-old boy thinking, I wish I had a fucking 75-inch telly to watch this on. And I'm just reminiscing with that, Jason, because
mine was the year after. It was Amsterdam, Ajax, when George McCluskey
George
scored.
McCluskey scored. Aye, that's right. Aye,
And it was
was that 81?
Well, was it no the year after? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
It was
I'm not
fucking
sure.
81, 82 or whatever. There's a cracking photo of Joe Miller, the average Joe Miller. No
Aye.
Joe Miller that played with
I know
Celtic.
what you mean. Aye.
Down the windmill, running down the terrace, and when Celtic scored. But I
I
can
think I've
always
seen that.
mind.
Actually, I think I've seen it. Aye.
I can always mind in the house, and with the old like big hi-fi thing, with all the record player and the tape with the tape deck below it, and I'd plug earphones in. I'm lying on the couch just listening to it, and I'm fucking panicking. But I don't think we're going to get in, and then it's McCluskey scored a fucking diving about the living room. Fucking unbelievable.
You mind that watching, listening to games on the radio? See, you say McCluskey scored. I don't know if my memory's fucking tricking me here, right? But I think George McCluskey also scored in Real Madrid Stadium when we were 2-0. Did I think George McCluskey scored to make it 2-1?
That's a loud
He
goal.
scored at half, didn't he?
Aye.
Well, see, I'm going to share something I'm a wee bit ashamed to know this, because see, at that time when I was 10-year-old, I would never have it now, obviously, because of the political stuff, right? But I had a Real Madrid plaque, see one of the pendants on my wall in my room, and it was like fucking
listen,
what?
Listen.
You've started now.
Hey.
Man.
See, I've no time for Real Madrid, right?
Right.
See, my daughter went to Madrid.
Don't talk shite, man. You fucking lived them up for the last, I don't know how long.
No. But I'll tell you one thing, right? My daughter went to Madrid University, and I met loads of people in Madrid. I was there loads of times in Madrid, right? and their families all fought for the international brigades. And they fucking hate Barcelona because they say they shat themselves. And they say they defended Madrid for the fascists for 3 years. Atletico Madrid are fascist cunts. But see, Real Madrid, I've got a lot of time for them now. My mates in Bilbao don't like that, but I've told them. But I'll tell you one thing, it's no the worst thing. I'm still not a fan, but...
To be fair, I was only 10-year-old, right? But see the thing about it, the funny thing about it is just not to be fair, right? My boy, we Harry, he loves football and stuff, and he gets all sorts of football trips, and he wears the Real Madrid strip, and sometimes we're watching on the, and I think I don't know. Obviously, there's that whole political thing that I just anybody like us just wouldn't agree with, right? But sometimes when I watch them, I don't know whether or not I'm swayed by that fucking thing when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
By the way,
I know.
I've seen Celtic play in the Bernabeu, and I've seen Celtic play in no Vicente Calderon. Didn't go to the game, we played them there, but I've seen them play in the new Atletico Madrid stadium. Fucking Real, in Madrid, obviously in Madrid, I take Real Vallecano. They're the fucking team.
Yep.
They're fucking class. I went to see, are they done?
Relegated.
Oh, fucking disaster. But I'll tell you, I went to see them. I went to see Athletic Club play them in Madrid. Fucking class. They're a class act, man. Their fans are fucking brilliant. But Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, I would take Real Madrid every day of the week. Every fucking day of the week. And do you know what? See, when Real Madrid play Barcelona, I want Real Madrid to win. But
well, it's funny. I think I've got sort of a I don't know, underlying finish, because when Real Madrid are playing Real Madrid are playing a Champions League final, and it's not against a team that I don't bother about. I sort of want them to win and all. I don't know if it takes me back to the 1980s. I think it was, see the pen in the head. I can remember some of the players. It was like Sanchez, right? Was a player. There was a guy called Laurie Cunningham had played, didn't he? Laurie Cunningham played.
Was it Hugo Sanchez you're talking
Hugo
about?
Sanchez, that was him, it's right.
Do you know Hugo Sanchez scored, was it something like 20 or 30 goals for Real Madrid that season, and every one of them was one touch?
Let's take us back to Giacomakis.
Andy loves Giacomakis, so that's how he
By the way, we're getting near the end here, but Scott, I thought you'd let me indulge me a wee bit of Everton here.
Yes, that would be great, mate.
Aye. So, what's that?
No, my missus saying I need to turn the volume down, sorry.
All right, no, it's cool. So basically, everything was I've got a massive affinity for Everton FC, and aye. So there's 2 games left at Goodison Park. 2 fucking games.
Sorry, Jason. Let's stop. 2 seconds. Andy, would you have a preference for any English team?
I don't know, mate. I think, I know I should go sound daft, right? Over the years, it's probably changed. I think Liverpool's probably the one I would go to. I don't know why, but I spoke to Man United for a while. I know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I sort of like Man City. Sort of Man United. So no. The answer's no. The answer's no. The answer's no. I don't have no.
Right, okay. Right, Jabo, you're on.
You're actually a fucking bona fide Liverpool fan. I like Liverpool, they're Man United, and it's Man City, and I'm not actually too sure now. Fucking proper Liverpool fan, you.
Aye, go on the Reds, man.
Fucking absolute fucking gonks. But anyway, so two home games left, Ipswich and then Southampton. I'm going to Bath. And I've not got a ticket for the Southampton game, but I'll get a ticket. But do you know what? Fucking hell, it's quite emotional, to be honest with you. I went to my first ever game when I was 16. Met all these scousers by Ibiza, and they were all. I was walking down the street. My mate Jeff, I've told that story a million times, so fucking all the listeners, the Homebhoys, are like, oh, fuck off. But
we're not here to entertain they fucking wankers, alright?
Exactly. I was always mad into Everton, and if I was a kid, and
So
then
even before you met all these cunts, you were still mad in Everton.
I'll send the photo in the chat, Scott. I've got a
Oh,
photo of me.
I believe you. I mean, but what was the logic there? What was the reason?
So see when you were kids, right? You'd fuck all, you'd nothing, right? So a big cousin of an Everton tap was the Bob Latchford one, the yellow away tap.
Right, all
With
right.
the
Brilliant.
badge was EFC, and it was a hand-me-downs. So he sent them down to my ma, and he sent the tap. Rory's just come in for the pub here, and he's trying to pour some water, and he's trying to do it quietly, but just Rory.
Fuck up, Rory. Come on. Give him a headphone and get him on.
Aye. So anyway, he had me doing tap, so he gave me the full Everton strip. Yellow away one, 78, Bob Latchford. So there's a photo of me and John standing at the back garden. I've got the Everton tap on. So I always send that to my mates from Liverpool. When we're talking about it. Anyway, so that was my English team. And they were shite. And then they became fucking great. And then they became the best fucking football team in the world in '84. And I was a wee guy, gone to the odd Celtic game on the Cross Keys bus. And then there was a squad of guys who Wisher went to Rotterdam to support Everton because obviously they were playing Rapid Vienna.
Yeah, that's right.
And, they knocked us out. And
But
but the thing is, it was the second round, we get knocked out. This was the final, but fair play to all the Evertonians. There was big flags. Celtic should be here. Celtic 3, Rapid 0, all that stuff. So when I seen all that, when you're looking at it as a kid, you're like, fucking hell, there us. And then it was the half and half ski hats.
I mind them.
And you used to look at the Gladys Street when it went to Goodison. You just turned round, and it was fucking half of the fucking Gladys Street was green. You're like, fucking hell. Then you used to look at the Cop, and you seen the odd green one, but loads of blue ones, and you're like, fucking hun bastards. So, my uncle always said to me, I mind Uncle Francie, God rest him, we're at a fucking communion or something, he's like to me, I had the Everton shirt on, he's like to me, I know why you like Everton. I was like, how? He's like, you're a fucking bigot. I'm like, what? I'm like, fucking just with, he says, you're fucking, I know what you're like, man. So they were the perceived Catholic team sort of thing. That when I was a kid, that was my head, right? So that was it. So anyway, I had an Everton shirt on. I went to Ibiza in 1988. So I always bought the Everton shirt. Never been to Liverpool in my life. And I'm in Ibiza, San Antonio, 1988. Summer of love, fucking changed my life. But anyway, they're raising one. But so I'm walking down the street with an Everton shirt on, and there's this kid walking up the street, same age as me, with a Celtic shirt on. And I'm like to him, all right, mate. He's like, all right, tell lad. He's a fucking Evertonian. So me and Jeff Reynolds are still best mates to this day.
That's brilliant, man.
Best mates to this day. Jeff's at my wedding and all that. Fucking still best mates to this day. So
that's class.
Once we get back, they phoned us. We want to all come up. I'm fucking. We're 16, turning on 17, and back in the day, it wasn't getting hotels and that. It was staying with your fucking.
Aye, of course. You'll get your mates.
So they all come up. My old man drove us down to Marvel Station, picked them all up, brought them up. So they all crashed out. But and they were all like 17, 18. We were like 16, 17. So a bit different. So you were still you started going to boozers and stuff, and took them to Celtic Park and took them into the jungle. Played the Huns. We beat them as usual. We did back then, and then. Fucking brilliant. And then the next week we went down to Liverpool, and the game was in the derby was at Anfield. So we all went down. There was 4 days went down. Me, Derek Higgins, Matt O'Donnell. Can't remember who else. It was 4 days went down. Maybe it was just the 3s. So we've done, sorry if anybody's listening to this, one of my mates for the old time that I can't remember, but so it was me, definitely me and Derek Martin. And we've done, and the boys have picked us up. The game was I think the game was a Sunday. Or was it a Saturday? I think the game was a Sunday, because for some reason it was on the Saturday. Anyway, so I arrives at Lime Street, first time I've ever been in Liverpool in my life. They've went and got us, we've got our bags like that. Mum will go to some boozers. So we're only like 17, 16. And I was still 16. And into the boozers, get bevied and whatever. Then moved back to Kirby, they all lived in Kirby. So then the next day we've all went to the boozer, the railway in Kirby. And so they're all getting the tickets out. So they had 8 tickets in the Anfield Road. In fact, there must have been more than 3. Sorry, they'd 2 tickets in the Anfield Road. And then they'd 8 tickets in the Co-op. And we were like, well, we want to go together. And I was like, I want to get into the Co-op, well, iconic fucking stand. Sort of thing. They're like, don't worry, there's like a third of the Co-op's Evertonians that day, because it was more friendly back in the day. So we says, right, we'll take the Co-op tickets. So the other ones took the Annie Road tickets, where the official Everton end is. So we got to train up at the stadium. And I minded to drop our bags off. I think it definitely was a Sunday, we went down the Saturday. So we had to drop our bags off. One of them with an auntie lived right next to Anfield in the house. So we had to drop our bags at her house, and then we went to the game. So we goes in, just before kick-off in the Co-op. We've made our way into the Co-op. So I've got a Celtic sun hat on. And we'll get back at, we'll go into the Co-op, and it's mobbed, right? So we're making our way round to the left. All the Evertonians were at the left. So we're all making our way round to the left. And as we're making our way round, there was a few choice comments. You fucking Catholic cunt, you Fenian bastard.
Hey, Liverpool fans.
Aye. Loads.
Right.
So next time we've got to the Evertonians, and then that was it. So we're in fucking Wayne mob. So there's like about 1,000 Evertonians at the left-hand side of the Co-op. A couple, more than 1,000, a couple of thousand or whatever. So we're there, and then I always remember Ray Houghton scored for Liverpool, put them 1-0 up. And then Everton, for whatever reason, got a penalty. They never got a penalty at Anfield. They hardly ever got a penalty. And Wayne Clark scored the penalty, and we fucking erupted. So I've got a tricolour, and we've jumped up my barrier with a tricolour and that, and see the coins coming out of this. Yeah, Catholic cunt, yeah, Catholic cunt. I'm like, fucking love this, you know. It's like, fucking we love Everton. But this is proper Celtic Rangers, but it wasn't really, but it felt like it.
And you're a Catholic, you thought it was a scramble.
So that was it, and then see when it got to like 5 minutes to go, still one each, 5 minutes to go of the game. Wayne Clark went clean through and scored, disallowed. And see if you watch it back, there was fuck all wrong with cheating bastards. Everton should have beat them 2-1 that day at Anfield. But anyway, it finished one each. So we ended up coming up the road, and that was it. And then friendship cemented. I was doing it at Liverpool every month, fucking for the next fucking 5 years.
Brilliant.
And they were up to watch Celtic. And I've still, to this day, Evertonians still come up to Glasgow, and I'm the point of contact. Any Evertonian comes up, I'll sort them out the tickets.
Class.
And I go down to Liverpool, and now there's a bus goes for Glasgow, the Glasgow Toffees, fucking brilliant. So I'm getting down in that bus for the Ipswich game, but the Southampton game, me and all the boys are getting down for the weekend. We're still for the weekend. So aye. So it's that day when Goodison goes.
So you're a proper fan, but see when you asked me, Jason, if I got our English team, I was like, I sort of like Man City. That was in the last 5 years, right? Before that, I kind of liked Arsenal for a couple of years. Before that, I sort of liked Man U. So I believe my English affiliations are the same as my fucking Japanese affiliations. That I watch a team that are decent and I enjoy them. I don't think I've got any. Have you, Scotty, any affiliation to an English team?
Nah.
I have no either.
I don't.
But based on what Jason said there, I'm sort of a leaning towards Everton.
But see, the thing is, right, it's a weird thing. Everybody says to me, more clubs than Tiger Woods and all. I just love football, right? But I've always got to have a Celtic aspect to it, right? I've always got to have a Celtic. But the thing is, like, if Celtic play Everton in a European game, I want Celtic to win 25-0.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't come into it, right? So I'm not a proper Evertonian. I'm a Celtic fan. I love Athletic Club. I go and follow them. I go and watch them. I love the culture. I love being there. If Celtic played Athletic Club in a Champions League game or whatever, I'd want Celtic to win 25-0.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I love them, but I don't. I worship Celtic.
I tell you, boys, right? So I like Borussia Dortmund. I did like Borussia Dortmund, right? I suppose I was still. Borussia Dortmund done some dubious things over the last year, but incidentally, Celtic had drawn against Borussia Dortmund, and I have never endorsed the Borussia Dortmund thing, right? Never. I never wanted Celtic ever to get drawn against Borussia Dortmund. And then Celtic had drawn against Borussia Dortmund, and I fucking went because I wanted to see my pals and I wanted to be them. And
You've always been a Dortmund guy, ain't you? But
yeah, no, I know, mate. Right? I've always. That was horrendous, man. That was genuinely horrendous. I'll be honest. I still don't think I'm fucking on that. It was fucking minging, man. It was minging watching your team get decimated, lad. But right, anyway, I'm going to finish off because we're on the home straight. Right, we're 3 hours. Andy, thanks for coming on.
Andy,
right.
stay on after the end, will you?
Right, Andy, stay on. Right, but we're going to finish up. Jason, tell me what's your script tomorrow? What are you up to?
Bus leaving at 8 o'clock, booked into a boozer. I won't mention the name in case anybody's not licensed and laws fucking here. But we'll be in the boozer Lockheed at 9:30 tomorrow morning. I'll need to distribute fucking about 25 tickets, and then we'll make our way to Tanadice and hopefully watch Celtic lift 4 in a row.
Boom! What
about yourself, Scott?
What's your plan?
Me, just no, in the house with the kids. I'm on duty this week, so I'll be here.
Belittled that you're not?
No, not that early in the morning. Fuck's like I'm in charge of a child.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can't palm him off on fucking anybody.
Dan be looking after you, you can't.
My ma's in Cork, my ma's in Cork, my wife's in Wicklow. I can't palm the bastard off at anybody.
No, you can just get drunk and just kind of poke him with a stick ever doing that.
Big and strong, too.
Andy, what about yourself?
I usually go to wee man's football on a Saturday morning, right? But I told them from day one that if there's a Celtic game that's really that important,
you'll get back to Amsterdam.
I'm not going to watch the game. So I'm going to watch the game in here tomorrow. I'll drop him off his football. Donald will pick him up with the football. Watch the game here. So I don't know. Do you know what I was thinking about today, guys? I was thinking about all the times that Celtic's won the league. Is that thing about that tedious thing that the Daily Mail say, right? I was thinking about all the times that Celtic won a league and where we won our lives and stuff like that. I think I'm going to look back and think, maybe the first time that I remember winning and looking back and maybe just writing something down the wee jot or just saying how I was at that time. Because memories changed, didn't they? But see, I think we all forget is, see, won the league tomorrow. It's fucking tremendous, man. The club's been going for 130 odd years, whatever it is, and we're won 55 tomorrow. You don't win every single year, and people take it for fucking granted, don't they? But you know what? See, when you look back to 1980, we got the 2-0 win, and then you go to 1986, and we got the 5-0 one we didn't expect, and all these things. See, the league titles that meant so much in that particular day, they're not any more important than the league title we're going to win tomorrow. So I'm going to, do you know what? I don't care what I do. I'm going to sit back at fucking 3 o'clock tomorrow, hopefully, and sit back. I don't smoke. I'd love to see I'd have a cigar, right? But I'm not going to have, but I'm going to have a sort of an imaginary cigar, and I'm going to say, we're the champions.
Andy, right? Jason, Marty,
Yep.
we are all men of age, right? And I was thinking, one of the boys put up, Marty, you're in the chat. He put up a picture of Andy Tom, and he was wearing. Do you remember
The furry liquid bottle top.
had a green sleeve, had a yellow sleeve, and it like kind of squirrels in the middle, right? Like,
It looked like a bottle of furry liquid.
right. Do you remember this jersey? This jersey came out in 1994, October 94. It came out, and what you saying, Marty?
It looked like a bottle of furry liquid.
Right. It looked like a bear. So anyway, we brought this jersey out in 94, right? And see, when he put that up, I sat there and went, I'm pretty sure the first time I seen this jersey, it kind of led. So sure enough, I went and done a wee divulge. So 12 games we went without a win at Ham. Imagine you cunts all sitting here now. Imagine got to see Celtic and we never won 12 games in a row. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? 12 games in a row.
I went to the Camp Nou to watch Athletic Club, and they hadn't won there for 20 odd years.
No, but Jason, right? But they hadn't won there. I'm talking about we hadn't won.
Aye.
For 12. Your club, Celtic, hadn't won.
I would be there constantly, because once you get beat, that brings out the true fans. And
Yes.
Then it becomes...
But that's it. I know we were all there and we give a fuck. So, see, be honest, any cunt that gives you shite, fuck up. Go and fuck yourself, man.
I don't give a fuck about any cunt.
I know you don't, Jason.
Fuck them all.
Boys, I love you dearly. And right, Jason, Marty, let's give Andy a big round of applause.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Andy,
Thank you. What a
mate.
a pleasure, man.
Come back on anytime, kid.
I'll come on every week if you want, guys, man.
No, that much.
Andy, you get the Liam Parr ruin an empty house award. Well done, bro.
Thanks for that. I'll take that as a compliment, right?
But anyway, everybody else who's listening to these, you're all fucking idiots, but I love you dearly.